Now before cold.
Literally the first stream has heard. Maybe next to the Dota game. Wait, why are we echoing?
Yeah, I don't know why we're echoing.
Oh, because there's probably a tab open.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Why is it this?
Why do you have 3 videos on users?
Let's close this.
You could always just mute the stream if you don't want to.
There you go.
We got sound.
And then, where's...
Do you want to ticklish there?
Just don't let them tickle
lats.
Or are you ticklish on your toes?
Yeah, you guys can start. I'm just gonna...
Hello everybody, this is finally
What's
Augur
the title?
underscores back after having a sick day. He didn't see me get super frustrated with goddamn makeshift coding, shitty coding.
That's good.
So angry. Anyway, this is LFO, Rasa, Riflo, Eastern Bells, and Zeji, Agent.
Why did you give yourself 3 aliases just now?
Because I use all 3 aliases.
Oh, on Twitch.
No.
As your streaming persona.
Absolutely.
All 3 aliases.
At the same time,
Good,
yes.
yeah,
Absolutely.
That's what I mean. So, like, why'd you refer to yourself by 3 aliases?
Stop using aliases.
Yeah.
The old boys. Oh, you should say the old boys.
The old boys? Okay.
Yeah.
The... Anyways.
But today we'll be talking about not the entire movie Old Boy, which was the original one.
Have you guys seen it?
No.
Old Boy?
The original movie.
No, I've been meaning to see. Really, you've seen it?
I've seen it.
I
I
haven't
seen
seen
it when I was
also.
younger. Patrick showed it to me.
I haven't seen it.
And boy, can I tell you,
Yep.
as a young man, it had way more of an impact now. Then, I meant then than now. Because now that I watch it, I'm like, oh, it's not that. Cinematography is not as amazing as I thought it was when I was a kid.
It didn't age well.
No, it did age well.
It did age
it's
well.
just it didn't blow my mind like
Like you thought when you were young.
Yeah, like when I was younger.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Okay. Anyway, what?
So this time's topic is just taking a snippet of only the hallway fight scene from the 2003 Old Boy, which is made in Korea, and the 2013 Old Boy, which is made by Spike Lee.
Yeah.
And we'll be just talking about that.
Distinction.
Yeah.
That's made by Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Who churns out garbage.
I hear Black Klansman was a good movie. I haven't seen that one.
Black
Klansman?
I guess he did make Malcolm X.
Like
I think.
the style for Spike Lee, I don't think it's suited for the movie that
Is Black Klansman just an adventure?
the movie that he was trying to do, which is Old Boy, the 2013 version.
I have no idea. I'm not willing to say whether or not Spike Lee was a super shit at his job because I just watched one scene of a movie.
True.
But based off of that one scene of the movie, whatever message / mood / atmosphere / existential horror that you get from watching the first Oldboy,
You spelled auger wrong.
you definitely do not.
Agoo.
You definitely do not get that in.
In the
The 2013 Spike Lee movie.
No, in the 2013 hallway fight scene.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
You don't get that sort of same existential threat.
What's this?
Existential dread.
Right.
Yes.
So yeah, we're basically going to be talking about that for an X amount of time, and if we can't think of anything else, we'll be talking about just some other stuff, I guess. But yeah, so comparing the two, what are some good things like that you liked about both of them? Like let's say like take one from like 2003, and then like another good point that you've seen on like the 2013 one. I like the slightly brighter lighting in the 2013 one, just so I could see
Why?
a little, just a tiny bit more than just kind of.
Well, don't say it if you don't mean it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Look, like you can start criticizing all you want. I mean,
I don't see.
anything
Honestly, I
good?
didn't see any sort of redeemable qualities from watching
Yeah.
the 2013.
All right, what's the?
scene.
What are some things? I don't want to use the word criticize.
why? So, what are the things that
You
that
didn't
stand
like
out that stand out in between the two
Stood out.
versions?
What?
Yeah.
You guys feel free to
Okay.
go.
In the original one, you didn't really know if the protagonist was going to survive because you're just getting mauled. And when he gets stabbed in the back and he just falls down, there's a moment that you think that this is the end. Like he had a good run, but this is it. But then in the new one, he gets stabbed in the back. Oh, I'm just like keep slaying
The
everyone.
stab in the back seemed completely out of place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like completely out of place because the guy was a badass throughout, and then I just don't understand the thematically what that hallway fight scene was supposed to represent because like in the 2013 version, the guy is just a complete badass. Right?
Yeah.
He just
But-
kicks everyone's out.
But in the 2003 version, you feel the like how would I say it? Like the exhaustion from the main protagonist. You can feel his struggles. You can feel how like claustrophobic that hallway is.
Yeah.
Also, one thing I did like is that even though for the 2013 one, even though the overall the whole fight scene was kind of mediocre at best, I do like the first scene when Josh Brolin character ducks under the guy like swinging with like the 2x4,
Yeah.
which was also done in the 2003 one. That's the first thing that the main character in the 2003 old boy did, which
So wait,
like
why?
he dips low and then like swings at the guy.
That's even more reason for me to dislike the reason why they did that.
Because they took an homage and ruined it.
No, because they did an homage for the sake of homage.
No.
There's no reason why you should be like if you're gonna stay authentic to the source material, then keep the mood and keep everything else. Don't stay authentic
I thought it was.
to the source material and
Don't. Yeah.
not represent any of the themes that the source material did. Like if you're just gonna do a shot by shot recreation, then it just makes
Which wasn't a shot by shot.
But they included
They included it.
they
The
included
first-
like the knife. Like
The knife scene.
yeah, why did they have to do
They
that?
also did the him getting beaten up like in the 2003 where like everybody like gangs up on him and the main character's like on the ground just taking the beating. They had that in 2013 as well.
I thought you just like slayed everyone, like you just swung a knife at everyone. And you
No,
just-
no.
It
But
was-
the whole getting beaten down in the 2013
But-
version lasted like half a second.
but
he
it-
immediately stood up and started beating
Yeah, it's
everybody
not
up
a
again.
beatdown.
It
So
was
it's
short.
not a beatdown.
It
No,
was
but
a beatdown.
No, but like he was on the ground for like a second.
So it's not a beatdown.
It is,
I guess sure. Yeah.
It's like an intermission.
Yeah.
even
Resumes.
Yeah.
even then, it still wasn't impactful compared to the original one where
Yeah.
they
I'm saying-
highlighted.
I didn't say it's a good thing. I'm saying it happened.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
and I agree. It wasn't impactful at all because it didn't there was no sense of tension to it.
Basically, the entire scene like was lost in that's the equivalent of lost in translation when it comes to
or localization even.
no.
Oh, maybe.
Localization is just translating one language to another, I believe.
No, lost in translation as in like the
localization?
message is completely lost.
Okay.
I'm not talking about like the awkwardness that you get from trying to transcend cultural bounds. I'm talking about specifically, oh, this guy thought it was a cool idea, I'm gonna recreate it, and the message of the original is completely lost in this guy's vision.
Like, it's, I don't know if this is appropriate to say it, but like it's like a.
Can you stop saying like?
It's how a 7-year-old will see an awesome movie and will have inspiration to try to create its own, and that's what came out.
Why did Spike Lee agree to do this thing? Does anybody know about that? Like,
Apparently, he had a different director before.
Yeah,
It went to Spike Lee.
And then it went to Spike Lee.
So it hopped around with.
What's his
question
name
is-
did a good video on it.
my question is, why did he
Sucks.
take it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie sucks.
Yeah.
Why did he take it? Like, he could have let it continue to bounce off to a different director.
Why not take it? Money? Maybe he
I
had
guess,
some sort of
like-
admiration for the original person and was like, okay, this would be a good project for me to do. That's beyond the point. Like, it's a moot point. It doesn't matter whether or not he took it or not.
He took it. Yeah.
You took it in the
Yeah.
end, and that's what you got.
Yeah.
And so, what do you think of it?
I liked in the old one how he didn't just get beat down once, but then he got down, and there's like at least like 5 seconds of him getting beaten. He gets up, but then he gets back down because he takes like another 2x4 to the back, and then he's down even longer. And then this time you don't really know if he's gonna get back up.
And he gets stabbed in the back, too.
Also, there's what do you call it? Comedic timing to the first one that you never get in the second one.
Yes, I'll agree to that. Yeah.
Like when you can like, what do you call it? The final struggle when he finally beats everyone up and he's walking towards the elevator and you see all the mobsters, they're like just chucking their things because they're afraid, and then you see the fat guy, he's like, I don't want to fight you, but I'm gonna fight you anyway. Like that's all.
He
Pretty
doesn't
comedic.
even want to fight. He gets actually pushed by another
Yeah,
guy.
it's pretty comedic.
And then the punchline where he just stood there and you get to bask in all the body that's on the ground and then hit the blood on him and then pan toward the elevator.
Yeah.
That's also another good
Also another.
comedic effect.
So
And you don't get that in the second one.
No,
It-
it's instant
wait,
cut.
Actually, for me, you kind of got it because I just found it hilarious how everyone got out of the massive fucking elevator and like struck a pose and were like, I'm ready to fight you, Josh Brolin.
and then they get back in the elevator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that made no sense to me. Was that like, why did everyone decide to fight inside the elevator?
Maybe he got pushed, like he overwhelmed them back into the elevator.
Yeah, but for some reason, like 20 people came out of the elevator
And
they all shot back.
Yeah. Oh, also another thing I did notice about the 2003 one, he took there were 3 instances where he took a 2x4, and they all broke. First was like I think both times like he took it to the back or something, and there was a lot of that was an impact. Like he got hurt by it, right? Like not in real life. Like the character was hurt by like the 2x4 getting hit and breaking off and stuff. And the third one though, he took it to the elbow and just breaks it.
Yeah.
But he wasn't impacted by it. Or like, was that adrenaline? Was it because there's like less nerves on the thing, so the character would be hurt less? Like he was definitely blocked.
So you're trying to figure out, narratively speaking,
like,
why would you?
Yeah, why would he be not hurt by that? Was it because once again like less nerves on the elbow, so he just like block it with the elbow? Like I just noticed that, like I found that intriguing because the other 2 times he got hurt. It's like he was on the ground because of the like.
Are we
it's
talking
like-
about in the first movie?
Yeah, on the 2003 one.
I mean, narratively speaking, for me, it's just like
Maybe see adrenaline.
you can't
kicking in.
really judge it like that.
Okay.
Like if taking everything out of context and just focusing on
The
that scene,
cinematography,
the
or
cinematography
the
and that
translation
scene,
between one place to the other.
there like the fact that it's a pan dolly shot where it's a hallway scene and it's dolly across through it and it seems endless. So there's this idea of like endless fights, endless struggle, and it's there. You see the high. They maintain that and just highlight the character itself moving back and forth between the whole entire thing.
It kind of feels like a tug of war because
Yeah.
they're fighting for ground, but you never get the sense when you're watching the
2013. No. Just that aside, I'm just wondering why the third one didn't like hurt him. Once again,
but
it's at the elbow.
You're focusing on a narrative.
If you wanted to know that, you would watch the whole. You would watch the scene in the context of the movie and then see, narratively speaking, whether or not that fit. I'm saying right now you can't examine that feature and come to a conclusion because we're just examining one specific scene.
Yes, and so you have to take it as a cinematography perspective. Then
I also thought it was like super cool.
yeah, it is super cool.
I thought it was super cool as a kid. When I now that I rewatch it, it's not nearly as impactful because
the characters.
Because there's more comedic timing than I thought to action. Now that I'm older, it's like a lot of these hits aren't connecting. There's not the same sound effects that I thought there was. It doesn't. The rhythm is off-putting.
Yes, that's true.
When it comes to a fight scene,
it's very realistic.
Like if you watch the 2013 version one, you feel the rhythm of each hit. You feel the fight, the flow.
2013 one.
Yeah, the Old Boy 2013
no,
one.
in both scenes, I thought the rhythm were awful.
Well, the rhythm was more pronounced in the 13 edition one.
Because
Josh Brolin would dodge. You feel the action more rather than the original one.
Not for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel it. Like
no, there's dust particles everywhere. Like
there's the lighting is way too bright.
The lighting is really bad and it's really difficult to. Yeah, everything is gray / blue.
The shot is super wide, so you can see everything.
And 2003 or 2013.
2013.
And then for some reasons they thought it'd be nice to insert things in front of the camera, so that was really distracting.
Also, there are different takes, like different cuts.
Yeah.
Different cuts.
So to me, the flow did not feel right. The rhythm did not feel right in the 2013. What I'm talking about was in the 2003 movie. And if you're gonna tell me that it's gritty and it's real, it's not real, because if it was gritty and real, people would actually
immediately stab them.
No. You'd be grabbing people by their clothes or their hair and stuff. Yeah. Like, it's not clean fighting. If you watch a real fight, it's really, really scrappy.
Well,
with a lot more people.
It's because the hallway was too narrow or something.
It doesn't matter.
Because, you would see them all gang up on the guy, and they're just, fake hitting him.
And
me as a grown man, and I watch that now, it's like that. I've seen Jackie Chan movies where they grab his clothes and they just push him around and they just constantly, But as a kid, you're just like, that's real. Look, they're ganging up on him. But they're just like, hey. And to me, it's like,
stop for a bit.
You don't.
It's not.
It doesn't feel visceral.
It's not
very. It doesn't feel visceral.
It doesn't give me a visceral feeling.
Yeah.
I get it when I watch Ong Bak, or when I watch The Protector with Tony Jaa. You get a visceral feeling because you feel the impact. The guy actually hits his stuntman, right?
That was hurt a lot.
You don't get that I didn't get that feeling rewatching the scene of the 2003 Old Boy. I got that feeling when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Like when I was 14, 15 watching this movie. And I was like, damn, this is super intense. Maybe because I didn't also watch everything that happened before and I only isolated this one scene. Because if you watch everything before, you understand how this scene fits in the context of everything. So things feel way more visceral.
Yeah.
Because at the introduction of the scene, you see the guy get his he asks people who's
AB positive.
Yeah, and because you watch the guy get tortured.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe the scene feels more visceral then, watching it within the context. But isolated, it just seemed goofy to me.
Yeah.
And that's why there was more comedic value in it.
Also, I noticed also in 2003, once again, there were two moments at the end, which kind of, it doesn't break immersion because I still think it's cool, where the main character was maybe, it doesn't even look like it's in the peripherals because he just dodges the guy punching behind him, just dips low. It's that's cool, but 3 seconds ago I saw you getting stabbed and getting beaten up, so it's what's up with this? Which is followed by the elbow block. So cool. What about
So with the 2000, with the 2013, how with knowing the previous with the 2013, how would you improve that scene then?
make the shot one take or one cut and make it a little bit more claustrophobic
The setting
because the
of the
hallway
sequence,
was massive,
The setting of the sequence was awful. It was like set in a garage
A parking
slash
lot.
parking
or like a
lot.
warehouse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It was a warehouse.
because you see the
and the dark corridors weren't dark enough.
yeah. So
The lighting was
brightly lit.
the lighting wasn't. No, there was too much natural lighting.
Yeah.
I don't care if it was brightly lit, but if it was going to be brightly lit, I want it to feel grimy, and that's what you got from the 2003 movie was the fact that it was like in a
Everything was green.
yeah, and no, but also in like a crummy hotel slash crummy motel.
Motel.
Like a hallway.
It felt really grimy. You
Also-
didn't get that sense of
Also, you need a better sound design on the 2013 one.
on both of them. Really.
Both of them really, but
Especially the 2013, because they basically used like the same 3 sound effects for people getting hit.
yeah, but like
they changed the pitch a little bit to like diversify it a little bit, but that's about it.
okay.
It felt super like synthetic, like
Yes,
it
it
felt
feels
like the sound designers just didn't care.
so.
I got the feeling of whether or not it was artificial or synthetic just by the rhythms of the fight. I would just see people waiting
Yes,
for their turn to.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
That's how people
Like-
fight in real life.
like video game mob fighting, which is just like
line up one at a time.
it's the
So,
same thing
it's
with
a-
the first movie,
Yeah.
2003 movie too. You get the sense. That's what I meant by comedic timing, because people were just waiting for their turn to get hit.
Well, that one was justified.
As a
because it was
kid,
cramped horror.
I didn't notice that because I didn't know any better. But now that I'm older,
Cramped horror.
it feels like a Bruce Lee movie where you see all the fighters in the background just dancing around, and then one by one they go in.
yeah. If it was a real scrappy fight, no one would be scared. Everyone would be on adrenaline, and people would be grabbing limbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I can't remember. The 2013 one, like, did he use a knife on his back? Or like?
No, he pulled it out.
He pulled it
Okay.
Like after it was all said and done, he just pulled it out.
just before the
Because
elevator.
he got like his OP knife and then he just slashed everyone.
I think
Also,
he
the
started off
body
on
language
the-
was way better in the first one. The stance that Odesu took
Yeah.
in the first one, he's like not confident at all, and then grows to be confident when he becomes a psychopath, and like he like smiles, after
Yeah.
killing everyone. But after that, when he's like scrambling outside and pulls the knife out of his back, his body language reveals vulnerabilities, like as if
Yeah.
he just went through.
It's like, oh my god, I can't believe
And
I
oh,
went
and then
through
the
that.
ordeal.
But you don't get that in the 2013.
Yeah.
He's just a badass throughout. Walks out and then like he sticks a sword in man, pulls the
It's-
sword out, and he's
it
like,
just
I'm a
feels-
badass.
It just feels too fast.
And then like the scene right after, he opens the door and he like almost collapses, and then stands up, pulls the knife out of his back, and then falls down again.
Are we talking about the 2013?
13.
Yeah, that makes no sense.
I'm wondering if like if there's what was the raw footage and all the edits that's been cut out for the
That's a good question
13.
to ask, because in terms of just like budget value, sometimes a lot of these like cinematographers slash directors are pressed for time, and so they'll just do like a couple takes and not necessarily
Yeah.
flesh out all the details, and you get like bad sequences and where people look like they're waiting their turn and
Yeah.
spinning around
'Cause-
uselessly.
I remember watching a video of a guy talking about how the movie Bohemian Rhapsody recently won an award for Best Edit, and he made an argument that even though it did won the award for Best Edit, there are a lot of scenes that the edits did not justify that award.
If you're talking about the Oscar, I hear a lot of people are like giving him flack or something.
I don't know about that, but like he demonstrated how if the way I would done it, like he would explain how the way I've done it, I would change these edits, move these scenes around, make it so that there's actual pauses or rhythm, so that it gives the audience more time to absorb information, stuff like that. So I'm wondering about like in the Old Boy, the 2013 version, would there be ways editorial wise to improve that scene?
Like post? You mean like on post?
I mean, fundamentally speaking, I think the scene itself and the way it was shot is just bad.
Yeah.
And sure, you can edit it to make it look good, but if you're editing shit, it's like at the end of the day, it's still kind of poopy.
Mm-hmm. That's also wondering what was the raw footage. Maybe the editor did not get enough the raw footage to actually make a decent editing off of it.
Or didn't have the time or money.
That also.
I've heard bad reviews of this movie as a whole, not just the one fight scene, and so to me, it's just like inevitably this movie is just going to be bad right from the outboard.
Yeah.
So, in the Western culture, in like Hollywood or whatever,
Mhm.
who would be the most appropriate to, like, if they were to try this again, make,
Wes Anderson.
there's a couple Wes Andersons, which,
Well,
like there's like Paul Wes Anderson or whatever.
The guy who made Fantastic Mr. Fox, or
I haven't seen that movie, so.
the one hotel movie I can't remember.
which one?
Hotel Transylvania.
No, the one where it's like
Rango? Is that one with the chameleon?
no, I'm talking about the one where everyone's like wearing a purple suit.
Oh, that dude. Budapest Hotel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made Wes Anderson.
Isn't that movie like a comedy?
Yeah, he'd be
Wait,
good.
wow.
He'd
How
be
would
good
or a director who directs
Because
makes
this fits right in his
comedic-
alley in terms of
comedic movie?
cinematography.
Oh, just base cinematography.
If we're talking about straight cinematography, this guy is like the epitome of wide shots, not moving shots.
Dolly shots.
Yeah, and specifically stills. He's very good at those.
And Old Boy had a lot of those in that hallway scene. Had a lot
At
of
least
those.
in the hallway scene.
had those kind of.
If we're just talking about straight up the hallway scene, yeah, I'd leave
Okay.
it to that guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's say. All right. Fair enough. All right. I was gonna say, what about the movie as a whole?
But we haven't watched the movie.
I know exactly. That's why I was reluctant to go with that one. Wes
Uh,
Anderson.
I don't know. You couldn't tell me that the new one was Old
2000.
Boy. Because it looks
Yeah.
like any other fight scene.
it looked like
Yeah.
Born Identity.
Yeah.
A worse version of Born Identity, in my opinion.
Isn't Born Identity like just more shaky cams? I haven't seen any of the movies.
What's the grandfather of modern action films, so.
Born Identity.
One of the grandfathers
about-
of action films. Yeah.
What about James Bond or
Yeah. Like Casino Royale and all those. It's basically a Born Identity copy.
Yeah.
copy?
Yeah.
Like
You're telling me-
Matrix. Matrix sets one of those standards of
Wait,
modern.
wait. Born Identity came before Casino Royale?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Oh,
It's like
Born
2007 or something. It's
Like,
already-
okay, so
I
when
don't
he said
know.
the grandfather, he means like he set the framework as in
Yeah.
that sort of fighting sequence
Yeah.
slash
where
chase
it's
sequence.
super close up and super shaky cam.
No,
That too,
no,
yeah.
There's that,
Where it's
Yeah.
visceral action.
but more so like guerrilla tactics and like fighting people in the street
Okay.
type of thing.
Street
Like
fighting.
in GoldenEye, it was like gigantic set pieces,
I guess.
watching people. Like watching James Bond overrun people with a tank, like
Yeah.
or
Was
jumping
that
into
a
an airplane.
Or driving across an iceberg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know that one.
That's
Those are giant set pieces.
giant set pieces, but
Okay.
you don't get that sort of sequence with Born Identity. Born Identity is like, okay, personal fights. There's a lot of personal stake because my girlfriend. Oh, things are really super urgent because my girlfriend is like in the hallway and there's an assassin in the room and I have to deal with the assassin type of thing.
As quiet as I can, but I'm gonna make a lot of noise anyway.
Yeah, shaky cam, jump cuts.
Yeah.
Born Identity. I mean, it was good when Born Identity did it because it
Yeah,
was the
'cause no
first.
one else did.
Yeah, no one else did it, but now everyone's doing it. So.
Even a lot of the Marvel films are also doing it.
Marvel films, isn't that just CGI Fest, the company?
Yeah, but
basically?
like there's
Disney?
some fight sequence where
Nothing
it's-
beats Jackie Chan.
nothing beats
Sorry.
that. But there's some
Sorry.
fight sequence where it doesn't cut properly. There's too
No,
much
it
close-ups.
cuts.
It cuts too much.
It cuts too much, and
Yeah.
you don't get the sense of an impact.
Yeah. Like, wasn't there like a video of how Jackie Chan explained
Yeah,
when you
25
when
frames
you
a
punch? Yeah.
He doesn't make videos anymore.
Yeah, you don't need to
Every
respect
frame.
continuity.
Yeah.
you need to just respect for impact. There's like 6 frames of him doing the hit, like approaching the hit, but you don't respect continuity. You still like do another 3 frames of him still winding up so that you can see the hit
in the close up.
So
close up.
your eyes just,
So your eyes actually see 2 hits,
Yeah.
but they register it as 1 hit.
Yeah. 2013 sucks.
Yeah.
It's just the fight
And
scene.
the 2003 hallway scene, as much praise as people give it,
It's like it's
isolated.
Isolated.
It's not as good as I thought it was when I was a kid.
That was very interesting, just how they took the shot of like a narrow corridor, just like black everywhere, but just a corridor. And then, it keeps you focused on the fight itself. Like you're not distracted. It's like, oh, what's that? What's that guy doing in the background? It's like, I guess it would have helped if not everyone was wearing the same color.
Or the color palette was extremely similar.
Are we talking about the first
2003?
movie?
Yeah, 2003. Like, if the protagonist was popping out a bit more.
No, that's kind of the point, because contextually speaking, that's what he had to deal with his entire entrapment while he was in the hotel.
Or 15. That's another thing. Oh,
15
anyway, this goes beyond the fight scene, but 15 years is a long time.
But like you get that sense of sort of desperation, right?
Suffocation.
Yeah. Or like enclosement.
Or of entrapment.
Yeah.
That he's kind of either battling his own inner demons or other people's demons.
And it feels endless. And
Yeah,
that
it
hallway encapsulated.
It feels endless, but at the same time, it feels enclosed.
Yeah.
Well, no, the idea that, like how Jackie Chan does it, like if he's wearing something, like if the bad guys are wearing one thing, he's wearing something that pops out.
No,
There's
yeah, for
contrast.
sure.
Yes.
But I mean, like, contextually speaking, I thought it was fine because it seemed like he was also being part of the setting that he was entrapped in, and that the setting influence, the environment pushed its own influence onto the main protagonist.
It went well with the theme.
Yeah, thematically
Or-
speaking,
yeah.
I thought it was fine.
Okay.
Like you can kind of get some of the themes from that.
2003. Maybe
From that just one scene itself, but even then, if you don't really know the context of the whole entire thing, then you
Then
can't
it
really,
seems out of place.
It seems out of place.
I mean, you can make the guy wear one, like the black, but then you can make the other guys wear something else. Like,
But then it doesn't necessarily represent. You don't necessarily know if he's fighting the
A higher
environment or a goon, or if the goons are supposed to represent a specific idea. You know what I mean? Like, is he fighting against the environment? Is he fighting against the goons? Is he fighting his own inner demons himself? I thought the whole message of, at least, we're going sidetracked here because we're talking about how it fits within the whole movie.
Yeah.
I thought the whole movie, how that scene fit into the rest of the movie was the fact that he didn't know what he was fighting. Because the whole movie, the premise is that he's searching for this guy who trapped him for 15 years.
That's a long
Right?
time.
And so since he was so isolated, everything is a foreign threat. So the hallway scene, he doesn't know what he's fighting. He's just fighting everyone and everything, right? Household objects are both weapons and protectors, and that's why he is so attached to a particular hammer, because that's the tool he used to
Fixes things.
Also torture a guy.
Yeah, but
why
I'm
did
saying
everyone come at him with that 2x4? Like,
I'm not necessarily sure. I can't recall. I
Household
watched this
object.
movie. I watched this movie when I was at 15.
You're
14
not
years
supposed to
old.
do that. That's rated
So
R.
I don't necessarily
It's for a
remember
2-year-old.
all the details, but I thought it was fine. I thought thematically speaking, how that scene fit into the rest of the movie, it was beautiful.
Like I get some of those themes just from that one scene alone. But yeah, like I said earlier, there's no context, so it doesn't really reinforce those
themes to the
forefront.
it's not like when the mob was coming after him. It's like I assume like they're going through this corridor with like an armory, but like it's armed with like 2x4s, instead of like guns or something like that. Like,
And everyone just
guys.
picked up with
Like
2x4s.
2x4s.
They didn't pick up the gun.
We need construction.
Yeah.
Construction. Yeah. And then it's just
Maybe
always 2x4s.
taking the movie like taking the whole hallway fight out and then just into the whole, basically sidetracked it. Maybe the main antagonist didn't bother to give the budget for the guy, so they just gave him a whole bunch of 2x4s. Like, go get him, guys.
At the same time,
The guy's
you
rich.
can assume that if it's a rundown hotel or a rundown motel or wherever it's shot, that there's going to be 2x4s everywhere.
Just
for
all
construction.
over the place.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah,
Like
Janky
there's
places just have construction materials laying around.
Yep.
I'm not even joking.
I know, like a hammer.
Box of nails or something.
Nah, I wouldn't use a box of nails. You would endanger the rest of the people around.
Right.
But 2x4s are okay.
Yeah.
You can swing
You
it
can
and like
swing
knock
a
out
2x4.
someone.
Yeah, but if you like spill the box of nails all over the floor, it's not just a hazard to you; it's a hazard to
for everyone
with you.
else.
It's true.
Or some other blunt object that is not a 2x4.
Like a lead pipe.
Or a hammer.
Yeah, then he would have
Something
no
that doesn't break on contact.
Yeah.
Then he would die.
Yeah. Then the main
That would-
character would be very
That would
dead.
end of the movie. That would be the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So overall, any final thoughts on it?
That it's very difficult to gauge the difference between Eastern and Western cinematography based on one scene alone, especially done by one director. You have no sense of what are transcendental things that cross cultures in terms of cinematography, and you don't have any sense of what are specifically localized / cultural things because the sample size is too low.
I'm sorry. I mean, like, I tried to do the whole movie thing, but apparently time crunch was a thing.
Even if it was a movie thing, you wouldn't get the sense of this is Eastern cinematography
This
versus
is
Western
Western
cinematography, unless you examine many.
Yes. And your final thought, John?
I should definitely see the 2003 one.
You haven't seen it?
You haven't seen it?
No.
We haven't seen it also.
I've seen it.
You seen it?
This guy's seen it.
When I was a kid, I've seen it.
The 2003 version? Yeah.
Patrick showed it to me, and I was like, "Oh, this is a good movie." Oh, damn! This hallway scene is super dank. And then I'm older. I'm like, "Oh, it's okay."
Also, I heard that another show did an homage of a similar hallway fight scene. I think it's a Daredevil or something like that.
Might have been Daredevil.
Maybe.
Seems like Daredevil would be the most likely.
Not the 2002
Yeah, the
Daredevil
Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix.
starring Brad Pitt or whatever.
Not Brad Pitt. It's the guy who started as
Tom
Batman.
Cruise.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise.
Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck.
Affleck.
Bad Affleck. Alfred Battler.
Leo, I want to get onto that, but Leo, your final thoughts on it?
The 2013 sucks, and that's about it. But 20.
Have you seen the movie?
The 2013.
Like the fight. I'm talking about the fight scene.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
we're just talking about the
I'm gonna
fight
reserve
scene
my
itself.
judgment for the whole movie when I watch the movie.
Yeah.
But then, just how bad the 2013 version was, just makes the 2003 version look leagues beyond it. It just
Oh,
puts it on
oh,
this
yes.
pedestal.
Yeah, it's...
Also, I forgot for mention the music. Holy shit, 2003 one. That was really good. But I didn't even hear the music in 2013.
The 2013
it
one...
felt very droning.
Well, not only droning, but it's also like it's supposed to be upbeat, high intense action. So that you hear like sudden basses and drums, but like that's masked in with like the punching and the grunts.
And the really shitty sound effect.
So, yeah. So
But yeah, like the 2003 one, I thought the music felt very in place with the fight scene.
I mean,
well,
it felt out of place if you were just gonna.
I agree to that thing.
As a fight scene,
As a fight, it does feel out of place.
but contextually speaking, it fits with the rest of the movie and what you're supposed to feel.
Yes. But yeah, I thought the music was pretty good for 2003. Not 13, because I could barely hear it over the wrong sound effect choices.
So yeah, overall we.
What made you want to examine specifically Old Boy?
Because for some reason it was constantly popping up on my YouTube feed.
Okay.
Like, please leave me alone. I'll see the movie eventually.
Okay.
Okay. Other than that, what else?
Other than that,
That's really about it.
why'd you want us to do Western versus?
Well, because I originally wanted to do. Let's try like a movie review, or a thought processes review on the original 2003 Old Boy movie.
Yeah, but
But
what
was it
primarily,
packaged?
like, which thoughts primarily did you want to pull out?
Like just very generalized how we feel about the movie, like what we liked, disliked, kind of thing.
Like, are you talk on the cinematography approach? How does this cinematography fits with the themes
just
of
like
the
a
movie?
general review on how we felt about the movie.
Or how does the music or the orchestra?
You don't have to go into detail, because I said general. That's basically the end of it. But there was a time constraint because everybody has lives, which I completely understand. I too have one.
Mm-hmm.
I swear. But so like I had to shorten that up. It's like I wanted to keep the whole old
You want to stay on the old boy
theme of Old Boy.
Yeah.
So what else can I do? Hey, I heard they made like a remake, and I heard it was
I feel
pretty
like
bad.
you would be way more productive in terms of your assignments / projects or whatever we call these things. If you were to pinpoint exactly what sort of reaction or gauge, what sort of metric from other people you wanted.
I should probably do that.
Rather than just say, I just want general first impressions. Like, we need to, if you can pinpoint exactly, I wanted to know exactly what art style you would prefer and why is it that you grew up liking this particular style, because that would lead to more of an in-depth conversation than us just going over the superficials.
Well, now I have a little more than 3 weeks to think of my next topic, so
Sure.
yeah, I'll think of a more in-depth one for my next one, hopefully.
But yeah, I think this was a pretty good discussion about Old Boy. Like just it's okay, but it's. I mean, the fact that you picked a specific scene and it's more narrow, it was a lot more.
It's more or less the more iconic.
Well, not only that, but we extrapolate more things out of it and stuff. We thought about it. It's other than just what's our general thoughts or what's our feelings across this.
Which that's basically what it did, though.
Yeah, but like I asked questions of how would you edit this movie to make it feel a lot better compared to the 2003 version? Would you try to continue on making would you stay true and make an homage to the movie, or would you try to experiment other ways just to make it so that it has
There's nothing wrong. I don't get people who feel like they have to stay true to the source and call it that, but at the same time do a completely wildly different approach. It's like, if you want to be a spiritual successor, be a spiritual successor, but don't call yourself the same movie.
New Boy.
It's like you're already giving yourself such a disadvantage by having to fill this person's shoes, and then if it doesn't deliver, then people are like, well, this movie sucks.
Just like Ghost in a Shell.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. Ghost in the Shell, the live action compared to
I hear that one was really bad too.
Yeah.
And it's not even because Scarlett Johansson was a bad whatever her name was. It's just because once again it came down to this is what people thought the genre / the franchise was gonna ask. Like, these are the questions that asks and it tries to answer, and those questions were never asked were never asked to begin with in the remake. So yeah.
Good topic. What's the next topic?
Who's next?
Oh well, yeah, I'm next, but I'm waiting. My topic is gonna be I'm waiting on your guys' schedules, cause
I gave you my schedule for September.
Yeah, that's also wondering if Leo's free over the weekend,
it's
not
just
this
on my
weekend,
brother.
but next weekend.
This weekend, but next.
Yeah, you're free on next weekend.
Yeah, free.
Because I kind of want to do something a little bit joyous, and I want to also work on commentary and editorial.
Cool. All right.
So that's what my focus on the next week's subject is going to be.
Okay.
And it might take more than 2 hours.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
In the podcast.
I'm okay with that. Especially if it's the weekend that I'm free on.
Is it gonna be an in-class essay?
No.
I swear to God.
No, I'm gonna also be asking John to bring his computer on that day also.
Oh my God, no!
So we can fix his Java.
Minecraft.
No, it's not gonna be Minecraft.
Aww.
you said Java.
Yeah. Well,
that's I'm hitting two
birds, one stone.
2 birds, 1 stone kind of style. I'm gonna fix John's computer, and also we can do the next topic.
Minecraft. I don't know why you're being so secretive. Maybe.
Because I don't know if I was thinking. Okay, so next week.
Right now, I'm just
29
brainstorming what would require you to be so secretive so that you can pull this off. That's
Okay.
what I'm brainstorming right
Okay. Anyways, next week is the 2019 Commanders decks are coming out.
Oh
That.
no!
So I wanted to try to learn to do. I want to do a live stream of that.
Cool.
But that's
Need more cameras.
that's estimation 4 hours.
That's fine. I'm okay
That's a
with
lot of time. That's why I'm asking
I'm
Leo
okay
for
with
that. Another way I want to go
Just
for
for
is a little faster is a small StarCraft 2 tournament.
Oh no.
I'm going to lose.
Use it
That could take
I hope
about
you guys like
2
funky
to 3
cheeses.
2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours.
I hope you guys like funky cheeses.
I'm okay with either of those ideas.
And then if time is still crucial, then we'll go on fighting game.
Damn it! I was gonna do the fighting game. I was like, I'm gonna do a Tekken tournament.
Tekken. Ah, shit.
It's gonna be great because all of y'all don't like. I'm gonna be omitted. I'm just gonna be like looking, observing what you guys do.
No, you're gonna.
No. The fighting tournament, I want everybody to be in it because it's 4 people.
No,
And
he's gonna get
it'll
a
be
bye.
round
And
robin.
he's gonna be the last boss.
Round robin placing, and then we will.
There's not
it'll
enough
be-
player for that. We need guest stars. Get Chad in there.
And so 2 of us will be commenting, and 2 people will be playing.
Oh my God. That sounds like fun.
That's why I want to do like I want to
Dude, that sounds like fun.
explore commentary and editing,
Cool. Yeah, dude.
live editing,
Sounds
and
like
then if that doesn't work, also then
Yeah, let's-
I have a mystery game.
It's definitely not gonna work. I'm just saying.
Mystery game called
I'm not hating.
Don't
I'm
knock
just
it till
saying
you try
that
it.
you need to embrace your failure and understand
Yeah.
that we need to work through failure.
Yeah, I know it's not gonna
Same
work.
state.
I know there's
It's like
gonna be
how I
so
did
many
it.
things that are gonna go wrong.
It's like how we
Never
did
fail,
Jeopardy.
same state.
We just constantly pick the same category because I.
Hey
didn't
man,
think-
I won that, so it's a win for me. I never fail.
And then the last one is also an arcade game called Windjammers.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, is that the discus?
Yes.
Okay.
That's also a game I wanted to play also.
Okay.
So those are and the final and last thought is a board game.
And why? The reason is because you want to.
Can we play Splendor?
What's a Splendor?
I played it with.
You got really excited.
Board game?
The most you excited I've seen you in
Ever.
quite some time. And I can tell because you tucked your teeth under
Your lips.
Yeah.
Whenever you do that face, I just know.
Maybe that could be your thing, dude.
Splendor.
Splendor.
Okay.
What's Splendor?
I want to do a fighting game.
Is that like some type of?
Is it a board game?
Artificial sugar?
No. It's like.
I hear Splendor's actually like super bad for you.
No, but I'm just saying. That's
Yeah.
Sugar.
That's why I said.
That finally clicked.
No, but we would have to get the game. So.
I'm okay. I can chip in.
Like we'll figure out. Like
Damn. I feel like you guys would like Splendor. It's very
What
tactical.
I wouldn't like though, Splendor.
It's not so much whether or not I would like it. It's
No, it's not.
whether or not I
That's
would
stupid.
enjoy playing it with you guys.
No, I think
so.
it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering.
Like
about how, are you?
Hanabi is not enjoyable.
Why?
It's stressful. We are constantly making unoptimal plays. I'm just like, this is not.
Listen, you gotta stop thinking about min-maxing.
Yeah,
and
so
just go
that's why I'm
flow.
asking for Leo. What's his schedule on next weekend? Next weekend. And
Make
then
it work.
I'll see. I can
Make it work.
I'll see what my topics can and my
Yeah,
planning
you got like
can change.
a 4-step plan, dude. You are set.
Well, yeah, because I've been seeping in for the past 2 weeks now.
Lucky. I don't get that
Steeping.
kind of.
Huh?
I think you wanted to say steeping.
Seeping
Not
Seeping. What did you mean by
into
seeping?
the woodworks.
As in, like it's been soaking into my
Yes,
brain.
so
Marinating.
steeping.
That's steeping. ST.
STEEP.
Okay.
Steeping.
Steeping.
Seeping is like if I.
Things leaking out.
Yeah,
No.
I don't have work next Saturday.
It's the opposite.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, I don't have work next.
Yes.
Like let's say.
Saturday. Next
No,
Saturday.
wait.
Not this Saturday. Next Saturday.
Let's say I leave a sponge.
Yeah.
No,
and
I
I
have work
put
10
one-
to 2
I
10
put
to
like
2. 10
On
to 2.
Saturday.
Like on
on 24th.
24th.
Wait,
10
we
to
could
2.
do- Yeah, we could do that.
That's
It's doable.
that's doable
It's
because we'll start around
You'll
4
be exhausted. I'll
o'clock.
just get you some coffee or something.
We'll start around 4 or 5 o'clock, and then we finish probably around 8
Can
or.
we just do it on like Friday or something?
No, I
Friday.
got work, dude.
Well, what is your other day off?
It's Sunday.
Discord. The weekends, man.
Like
But yeah.
Like John posted up, I saw it, and that's why I was like, "Oh, John's free on this weekend."
Yeah, like
He doesn't. I don't think he won't. He won't
even
be mine.
you commented on saying you got a lot of days off. It's like, yeah, dude.
Yeah. And so I was like, "This might work because it's everything seems to be aligned."
Also, while we're doing this,
Do our movies.
I'd like to mention like
Here.
is Hollywood running out of ideas?
24th, 25th.
No. Hollywood's never
Or
running
wait,
out
wait,
of
is
ideas.
wait. Let me
The
rephrase that.
supply for screen rights are infinite.
Let me rephrase that.
I have Monday off.
On Monday off.
I don't have Monday off
Hey,
though.
too. 19th.
Oh,
This 19th.
Yeah.
So why did you do that reaction before even confirming whether or not you had Monday off?
no, because we were talking about the weekend, so I just automatically assumed that
I
it was
mean-
the 26th.
It's doable. It's doable. Do you guys don't mind doing on the 19th?
I don't know.
It's pretty.
Then we'll have no podcast for till the 30th or the 29th.
Sure.
Yeah.
19th?
Yeah.
It's in a few days.
Yeah.
That's
like 3 days.
just before TI starts.
No, I'm just saying that's like 3 days.
Yeah.
You got a problem with that?
No, I got no problem.
That's why I was wondering if how about this weekend right here.
Don't bother me.
Everybody's yawning. Oh, my
Yeah,
back.
yawning's contagious.
It is. Hold on, I feel lighter.
And also gives time for us to either like practice or freshen up
For
our
3
skills.
No,
days.
we need no practice.
Yeah, no, it's more fun with no practice.
I'm only gonna practice Tekken and
Because
not
then
play
my cheese
StarCraft.
gets more smelly.
I'm gonna do a pro brush. It's gonna be
I'm gonna be really smart with my.
I'm gonna do a bunker rush in my own base.
So yeah,
I'm gonna build a base inside
I'll ask you guys more on tomorrow then.
I'm gonna build a proxy base inside my own base.
But
So it's just a regular base.
speaking of
I'm
Hollywood,
gonna do a
Speaking
planetary.
of
Okay,
Hollywood.
stop.
Speaking of Hollywood,
Let me rephrase that.
the Batman thing, that there's a guy who made a bot watch over 1,000 hours of Batman movies and cartoons, and then after watching all of those hours, he got it to write a script of a Batman movie.
Was it awful?
It was pretty damn funny. First line was, he is sometimes Bruce Wayne, sometimes Batman, all times orphan.
It's not wrong. Well,
Anyway, what are you saying? You said.
I would like to rephrase my statement. Is Disney running out of ideas? 'Cause
No.
I've seen a billion remakes.
Once
coming
again, Hollywood is infinitely
No, like
full
Disney
of
specifically.
screenwriters. No, if there's an infinite supply of screenwriters and ghostwriters, and they just want all of their screenplays to write,
And
this-
why are there so much remakes?
because it makes money.
Damn, that sucks.
Dumb question.
That's it.
No, because I just thought
It is.
like
It
I
is.
said,
It's not a dumb
running out of-
question. It is.
It's obvious.
Like maybe they're running out of ideas. But
No, they're not running out of ideas.
They're-
There's so many people trying to make it in the industry, so there's constantly new things coming up.
But everybody just want to
But
make a cheap
people-
dollar.
Want to make money.
There's also
Shame.
wasn't there a like an underground
Hollywood.
script rights where
That's
like
cool.
people directors will grab like a script right from those
A screenwrite.
Got like an entrenched.
the screen right from
Just
those selection, like
Yeah, I don't think it's underground. I'm pretty sure.
no, like yeah, it's so obscured that no
it's
one
not
knows
obscure.
what.
There's just tons
No.
of people circulating these things, and your script goes around. And if someone enjoys
no.
it, they'll just buy the screen rights off of you.
They couldn't get Ewan McGregor, so they got like the guy who.
But
played
I'm
Anakin
pretty, it's not like some
Skywalker.
underground ring or anything.
No,
it's just,
no,
you're just
I wasn't
handing-
saying that because
Alliance of
the
Ghost
latest
Riders.
Mel Gibson
Story
Mel Gibson did a movie recently,
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
and it's a really obscured movie. Nobody knew where it came from.
Young men. Similar to
And-
Old Boy.
It wasn't the movie wasn't really great,
Yeah.
but
I'm saying there's plenty of screenwrites like that.
but those screenwrites came from a
basically.
There's a small selection. There's a small.
It's not a small group.
It's not. I don't know if it's a small group, but it's unknown to other people.
A majority of these screenplays are unknown.
Okay.
Because they never get recognized.
It's like how
They
when
get
people
immediately turned down.
first started demoing tapes
Yeah.
and they just were trying to become artists, they would just hand out demo tapes and
Yeah.
you just
Follow
didn't know
the
who the
tapes.
artist was. And
Okay.
you would just listen to a demo. It's the same thing for screenplays.
Okay.
People constantly make screenplays and are handing them
Yeah,
around.
they didn't bother writing their names down on the tapes.
No, they used aliases.
Oh, okay.
It's like, this was written by this so-and-so.
I mean,
Who's
that's
this
how
Eminem guy?
that's how Eminem
How do
got
I contact them?
That's literally how Eminem got popular.
No,
Did
Eminem got
you-
popular because he was doing rap battles and then he decided to do
Well, one
tapes.
big.
well, no, one person from Intro
Those tapes.
Intro Scopes, an intern asked for the tape and he just threw the tape to the guy, not knowing who that guy is, and that guy gave it to the CEO of Intro Scopes, which he gave it to Dr. Dre.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that they're organized in any sort
No,
of...
they're not organized.
No, but that's exactly you were mentioning / inferring that there's an organized ring of obscure people who are circulating some form of screenplays.
League of Ghostwriters.
Yeah, I was like, that's where Mel Gibson got it. No, it's just that's just how the ecosystem of screenplays
Okay.
go around, right?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
a bunch of people who are completely unknown trying to make it in the industry.
Yeah.
And they're just circulating their screenplays, and
Okay.
whether or not they get picked up is up to...
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
I can.
Ball cloud.
But yeah, Hollywood is not going to run out of ideas. It's just that it doesn't make
People
money.
just want money.
No. Well, people want money and it's safe. Like,
Yeah.
I know for a fact people are going to watch a Lion King remake.
Which I didn't. Nice painting. Thanks.
Thanks.
Baker.
What?
Baker stays baked.
Oh, it's done.
Yeah, it's
with
a
that.
baking.
On Mixer. Our first watcher on Mixer. That's cool. Welcome to the podcast.
But so what have you guys been playing lately? Yeah.
Oxygen.
Oxygen.
Or as I like to say, ONI, because that's the
Oxygen, not
first.
first.
Yeah.
That's the acronym.
Acronyms. There you
Yeah.
go. That's what I was thinking. It's made of felt. It's not even a painting. Well, it's a painting.
Stop touching the painting, John.
I'm sorry. It's made out of felt or something. I'm sorry.
It's called canvas.
There you go.
Yeah.
Is that canvas?
It's now following. Cool. Thanks for the
Thanks,
follow.
man. But yeah. What?
I've been basically only been playing ONI.
That's all you
I hate that game so much, but I can't get away from
It's
it.
a time sink.
Like, not like out of all the games that I've really played, like that's it's one of the few games where I could like look at the time and say, oh, it's X o'clock, and then like look again and it's like, why is it like 5 hours now?
Yeah.
Like why is that a thing? This thing's like made out of felt, dude.
Because you don't...
Canvas.
It's canvas. It's felt is some canvases are felt.
It's because you don't allocate your time properly.
Apparently, because I'm too busy
Apparently,
getting angry at
you
my
should be
dudes.
pulling out your graph paper, planning out your base layout.
You should be. I do that.
Crap. My blueprint.
Yeah.
Spread them out.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with
There's
that.
nothing wrong with
I
that.
need to buy-
Especially-
I need to buy
especially
papers
as
and
complex as
white
Oxygen
markers or
not
whatever.
included.
But yeah.
There's so many system and subsystems in that game.
There are nuances that I've even begun to grasp and understand. Like, that game is too huge for my smooth brain. Like, it's way too massive. Like, the things I'm tinkering with now and getting amazed over, that's like low tier things. And I understand that. It's like, what am I getting?
How
what
many
have I
hours
gotten
do you
myself
have? How
into?
many hours do you have put in the game?
Almost 20.
Yeah, that's
I
nothing.
think.
That's nothing. I already
Yeah,
have 218 hours.
I get
into
that.
that
I
game.
understand that. But you guys understand the nuances in the mechanics. And you still haven't even fully understand all
We
of
haven't
it.
even gotten to the
Yeah,
end
no.
yet.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's,
Like, I think I'm the furthest one who's
Playing
well,
it.
there's also the fact that we like to put arbitrary restrictions on ourselves because we
Like,
feel that...
keep all dupes alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
not
always
keep all
go
dupes
save state.
alive.
No.
It is print every dupe when
Thought
possible.
on DayZ. I played it. I played it maybe twice for like under an hour.
You played it like also like 10 years ago.
What
yeah, that
happened?
too.
The
What?
developers for that game.
They went PUBG. They went to PUBG.
Some of them did. Others didn't, right?
Okay, so
Is that a dead game?
no, it isn't.
PUBG? No, it's
It's-
huge.
Yeah.
It's
that-
finally
Oh.
it's finally out, still in beta. There's a lot of
Really?
server
that.
problems. like you can actually go and play it, and you didn't require somebody inside the developer to actually access the game.
I thought it
Compared
was a
to now.
very like mechanically heavy game because there's so much micromanaging when I first played it.
Third person.
Yeah, it's a third person. It started the whole entire zombies survival third person shooter game.
Zombie survival,
I
never
thought
trust
DayZ
anybody else.
was a game that was
Based on Arma. It's a mod.
It is the
yeah,
mod
that
of
was
Arma
on
2.
Arma 3.
Arma 2.
It's a mod based
Armor
on
2.
Dota 2.
It's a mod based off Arma
Wait.
2, and the developers of that left
To make PUBG.
some of the developers
And
left
Dota's
Arma
a
2
mod.
to go to work on DayZ.
And then they left to go.
They left to make
Warcraft's a
PUBG,
mod of Warhammer.
Degrees
and
from
some of those people also left to make Fortnite.
And Warcraft's a mod of Dungeons and Dragons.
It's a very similar situation as Dota
So
when it
DayZ
first
has
came out on
Dungeons and Dragons.
Warcraft 3.
No, I understand that. But I'm just saying. What the development cycle is like for that game.
It was
No, I'm saying now.
I don't know.
Still slow.
Can't be Fortnite.
It's
Like it's definitely not
we
profitable.
just 1.04 update on console.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
most
it's
of
on
it's here.
full
PC.
release. It's full release then.
It's a console. It's on console.
Yes.
Yeah,
How
most
does
of
that-
us here are PC gamers.
Wait. How that? Like, there's not enough buttons on a controller. Do you have to play with like two
It's
controllers?
much
Map it.
simplified now. Simplified
It
compared
doesn't
to
need
10
to be
years ago.
simplified. You can just map everything to like a particular function.
But yeah,
or
it's-
like a circle wheel.
let me rephrase. It's much
Two controllers.
the quality of life has improved compared to
I don't know.
When it was just an Arma mod.
yeah.
The
when it
last
was just
time I
an
touched
Arma.
that game was like
Over
You never played it.
6. No, I've played it. I played it with Chad, and I was looking for Chad.
That's an alarm.
Yeah.
I was looking for Chad for
Yeah.
45 minutes, and then we both got killed by a guy while we were both naked. So then I
Nice.
swore the game off because it took fucking way too long to find my.
Because the map is too big.
I didn't. Well, there's that in the spawn. I didn't mind if the map was so large. It's just the spawn points were just so
You
weird.
had to like take out a map and chart all your paths and
No,
stuff.
we didn't even have a map.
Oh,
So I had to go strictly based on.
like landmarks.
Yeah.
And Edric is pretty.
I'm by the sea. It's to my right. Okay, I buy some train tracks. Okay, run north. Okay, I'm running south on the train track. And then we just ran for 45 minutes.
And Edric is pretty bad at navigating.
No, I'm decent at when it comes to navigating in games. When it comes to,
No, now that
But
we're
you
phrasing
need,
like,
like,
look-
something like
searching
that.
for locations and stuff like that.
I'm fine with that
Really?
in games. I'm very fine with that in games when it comes to mapping like an inner model of what things look like.
Then,
I-
okay, never mind then.
I just find it interesting that the zombies are the least of your problems in that game. It's actually just a simulation of how horrible people can be.
Yeah.
So you just never trust people.
Yeah, there's
Always
some-
shoot first.
Peter Flax put it right. It's like it's when you put like a bunch of spiders inside a jar, and you let them fight each other. But some spiders are like big ass tarantulas, and other spiders have guns, and other spiders don't have arms and legs. Like
It's true.
that's
You're
what-
right.
That sort of ecosystem is weird. It's mapped well, and emote wheel. PC standalone is only at
1.5.
105
Only at-
right now,
but
but
it's a-
modded is still the way to go.
Wait.
What's it like in terms of optimizations? Is the game
Does it run
optimized?
well?
I remembered it being optimized poorly.
It was a little bit choppy, and the graphics were less to be desired. But that's Arma.
That is Arma
Much
2.
to be desired. The expression goes,
Oh.
there was much to be desired.
Oh.
There's not much to be
Yeah,
desired.
it was actually very good. It's very good, actually.
You butchered that saying, man.
Hey man, I don't use a lot of these things. And when I do it, I'm gonna make sure I do it poorly.
God.
Yeah, I remember that game being poorly optimized. And also another thing that really bothered me about the game was it did not feel good to play.
Yeah, it did not feel good.
Running made me feel bad, and
Standalone 4K.
Yeah.
hitting people was not satisfying.
Hitting people with your wet noodles.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to ever fire a
and,
gun.
and,
okay?
and the sound is like back
Much-
then.
I,
much like
I
hitting
never,
a noodle.
I never got to fire a gun.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the gunplay was pretty.
I got me and
Realistic.
Chad both wore helmets. He wore a yellow helmet. I wore like a blue helmet. and we were like, okay, we're gonna be part of the helmet gang, but you need to strip to your underwear. So we both stripped.
I love it how you arbitrary made
and
these
we're
rules.
both naked, and we saw this one guy. He's like, "Hey, you want to join the helmet gang?" He killed us both with a gun.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're done with this game. I don't play this game.
First question: why did Chad got you to play it?
Because you can.
Because Grant got us the game and was like, okay, yo, let's play DayZ. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play DayZ. It's gonna be great. I spent 45 minutes looking for Chad.
Okay, I don't want to get too philosophical or anything like that, but like, what's up with these games that brings out the most like
Sadistic nature of
the worst out of everybody? Like Rust is like that too. I've seen a guy play Rust is like, okay, I'm gonna immediately stop watching you now because all you do is run around and slay nerds kind of thing. Like when people want to be just like cooperative and stuff. Like what is that like Hobbes' theory? Like people are born bad kind of thing. People are born evil. Yeah,
no, because the system allows for it. And
like
people and players naturally have an inkling to want to
slay nerds.
No, push the boundaries of the game.
Oh,
and
push
so if the systems allow for it, there's no reason why you shouldn't come across a player who wants to push literally every frontier of the game.
Like,
yeah,
if I'm allowed to be in Conan Exiles and have a massive schlong, I'm going to have the largest schlong possible because that's allowed in the game. It's not because
just like how Soul Calibur,
there's a fantasy that I want to have a very large schlong. It's a facet of the game.
It's just like how in Soul Calibur, if people can't place schlongs on characters,
they will.
They will.
Wait.
No RP.
Can I play as a guy?
Can I play as a zombie?
Yeah, and or a guy who is pretending to be bitten, so he's all paranoid.
I never understood the appeal of an RP server.
Like Grand Theft Auto 5.
Where I play as a citizen, just walking along, and then a guy. Yeah, like I'm basically an NPC simulator.
No, but like in Gary's mod or in Counter-Strike, there's a game mode called prisoners and guards.
Don't. Oh wait, never mind that.
But you're RPing as prisoners and guards.
No,
to me, it's just like.
No, you don't
want to RP.
No, you don't. You just like your job is to like
make sure
get the guns or like sneak off and get the guns.
No, at least the videos I've seen in which people play that they take their jobs very seriously.
There are
because
people
they're too scared to get kicked, man.
It's just like WoW servers and WoW RP servers. People will get mad at you for not walking on the sidewalk.
Explain.
No. Well, every time I play Prison, it's that.
In Gary's one?
No, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what the game is. No, you can play it. You can play a form of it in Rust.
I played in Counter-Strike. All you do as a prisoner, you wake up and go down, and you do what the warden tells you to do. Is like Simon says. Usually Simon says.
Just stupid.
And then if you do it wrong, you just die.
Yeah,
that's it. That's not really role playing. It's
like
can you imagine a real prison? Simon says.
That's what RP servers are like.
Yeah, that's RP servers are like.
Like Gary's mod RP servers, like Dark RP or something like
What's
that.
Dark RP?
I don't know. I think it's just like.
But explain to me what your vision of Gary's mod RP is like.
It's just you're basically an NPC trying to make it in the world.
Yeah, what's the appeal behind that?
I don't know. I can't explain what that appeal. But Prison is definitely not an RP.
It's
like a game with rules kind of thing.
No, it's Simon Says with the loose condition is death.
It's like, okay, the warden says, okay, everyone head to like the freaking bunny hop zone, and then everyone goes to like bunny hop. If you fail, you die.
So basically, it's Simon Says the RP prison server.
You play like fun mini games, like don't step on the wrong tile or you blow up, or like.
Well, you've clearly been on the fun ones, and not
the serious one.
But I'd like to role play just a guy who's super paranoid because he's bitten. So every time I see somebody, I was like, "Don't come near me! I'm bitten! I'm gonna turn soon."
Yeah, I don't see the appeal.
Also,
like
Prison and MGO2 wasn't an RP. It's just you trying to break out of that. Like that's why I got out a little bit
and laugh and tweak out closest thing to a zombie. That's the closest thing to a zombie.
I can't pretend to be a guy who's bitten.
No, I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure I can.
No, you can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can.
You can.
No one's stopping you.
Yeah,
no one's stopping you.
And then I'll be immediately shot because I've been bitten.
But Yeah, I don't see the appeal of an RP server.
server. Like, there's so many
I
extremities.
can see the appeal of wanting to do LARP because that's real life. And
I'm not good at stuff like that.
Live
so
action
I don't think I could,
role
even if I
playing, yeah.
want-
Live action roleplay seems like an experience because you actually go out there and you experience something. But to
there-
RP something on a virtual server.
But wait. But LARPing has D&D rules to it, so you gotta like basically roll a dice.
No.
It's basically rolling a dice.
No, there's-
Thunder 2, Fireball 2. Like
Yeah, you're allowed to imagine like if you want to reduce it to that, then reduce it to
do
that.
that.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. But like, there's some people LARP like a Renaissance LARPing or something along the lines of that.
yeah, that makes sense.
No,
Right,
but
but
that's
I'm
just
not-
dice rolls.
But you say it's
When
just
I,
dice rolls.
When I see someone jousting on a horse, they're dice rolls.
Yeah,
to see
absolutely.
their lance spray.
Like,
You can break the guy's like armor off. It's like, oh damn, I rolled a 1. I'm sorry, I didn't do a lot of damage. Our communities.
That
is
guy's just trying to get people into it.
farmers, medic, cops, firefighter, random bandits, prison. I wouldn't mind being a bandit. Wait, never mind.
Yeah, maybe
It's
he's
our
saying our community.
yeah.
Maybe English isn't his first language, man. Don't
I'm not
correct
judging.
it. Don't
Dude,
judge.
I do typos all the time, and maybe he's on his phone and he's just doing autocorrect. Like you never know.
How do you autocorrect out an hour to an R?
It
Yeah,
does
it
that.
does
It
that.
Yeah,
does
like-
that.
If you
Autocorrect.
Autocorrect is pretty like.
Autocorrect is pretty fantastic.
Yeah, that's why I don't do autocorrect. My keyboard doesn't have that. So I'll make spelling errors all the time, so I have to go back and delete everything.
But yeah, RP servers, I don't know what's stopping anyone to grief on them nonstop.
It's
Oh,
mods.
You get banned.
Also,
You get banned and
someone's
moderators.
I have autism.
Then
No,
they
you
get
don't,
banned.
dude. Don't say the
It's
A word.
because it's
Don't claim it unless I want proper citations, dude.
What do you mean proper citation?
I say that to everything when I want to see a proof.
Really?
Why
Yeah.
do you need to see the proof of whether or not you need to confirm whether or not you have
Because you can't just go and actually you can say whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, that's why I can say I want my citations. All right, don't judge.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, shit. Anyways, like RP, there's extremities. There's a lot of extremities of RP servers.
Yeah, like super mods.
And no,
Okay,
no.
going back to the whole idea,
Yeah.
why not just make a new account after you get banned?
IP ban,
It's inconvenient.
so
No,
it's worth it.
conveniency is a lot of the reason why people do things
100%
online.
serious. You know what? Fair point, dude.
And if you constantly get banned from a server, at some point you're just gonna get tired of it and go do something better with your life.
Like
Your life
rate
is
another.
To go grief in RP
Yeah.
server,
Yeah.
then it's like
Then you do you.
you do you, I
No.
suppose.
You've griefed your first server and then it lit a fire within you.
Yeah,
and then
yeah. You taste
This
blood.
is my goal.
Yeah.
I guess.
Your life's
Like,
calling.
I know that in WoW, the Moon Guard server has actual devs
Really?
ban they RP and they ban IP addresses that
Wow.
continue to grieve.
I guess role playing is.
servers.
VPN.
I guess
Time
role playing is
stamp for
super
role
serious
VPN.
business.
Like there are people in extreme cases that would like to do proper RPs and actual RP servers, and I have no qualms against that.
Yeah. And I don't think I'm like creative enough, expressive enough to do stuff like that.
What about like real life, not real life, real internet RP, not just video games?
What is real internet RP?
What's that?
That's
Like
contradict.
How would you?
forums.
Form?
Forums.
What are you,
Forums where they pretend to be a character of a fictional,
I did that once.
what are
when
you
I was
talking
a
about
child.
by real RP life?
real internet RP.
No,
Okay,
it-
what are
literally-
you saying? Like, are you saying people from the internet
Mhm.
are meeting up in real life and they're using their aliases from the internet? Or are you saying real people
Wow.
from regular life going onto an internet forum? Like, whatever the fuck you're saying doesn't make sense to me.
That's why I said forums in the end.
You're not explaining it. Where are they congregating? You're just saying
The
that
forum,
real
the
people,
forums.
internet forums.
Internet forums.
Yeah.
So are these people congregating in real life
Wait,
from
no.
forums? They've met on internet forums and they choose to congregate in real life.
I got a question because you know
Go
a lot
ahead.
about WoW.
In real
Yeah.
internet.
It's a
What are you saying?
What?
Explain what you're saying.
I know what he's talking about. It's
I don't know what he's talking about.
let me
It's-
all right, two things. Simmer down and let me explain. I think what my brother's trying to say is this role playing, but with more words, which I was about to ask my friend Ian.
Role playing, but with more words.
in
What does
forums
that mean?
because there's no Discord
Like vocally,
No.
and I'm going to
like
change the
literacy.
language in which I speak.
No, in literacy standard, you write down your characters and all. It's kind of like fan fiction, but a lot more live.
What?
Like
live?
okay, so like it's
Like
kind
in
of like
person?
RP servers,
it's like role playing,
applications,
but you like
gaming.
write.
Yeah.
All right, now that I think about it, it's kind of hard to explain.
I feel your pain, man.
I used to.
Maybe you guys aren't even talking about the same thing
See.
because you don't understand what he's talking about.
No, I think I do.
No, I don't think
Am
so,
I kinda
John.
close?
Basically, you go on a forum,
Okay.
Yes.
and then the forum's gonna have a title saying this role play,
Yeah.
and then it's gonna be some kind of fantasy title, and then you role play your role or character, and then you just you
So how does
make
this
assumptions
involve-
on what the
How
character
does
would
this
say.
involve real people?
Because it's
So
real-
why did you insert real people into your explanation?
Because there's not 2 degrees of, like, it's not you on a virtual avatar role playing as something.
Destroying my
But
text.
that's essentially what you're doing on the forum.
No, but
most
It's a
RP
virtual
servers are
avatar representing
application
yourself, but in this
building.
case, it's words that represent your avatar.
Wait a minute. So griefing is not a big. It's
But
not
I'm
big.
talking
anymore.
about, like,
Well,
That-
remember, there's mods, there's moderators on servers, and you can moderate they can do a lot of things
also,
onto servers.
Just
for
because you
griefing.
send an application, it doesn't mean you get accepted. Doesn't mean that like there are still people intending to
No,
grief and stuff like that.
That's not the point. The point is that if you make the barrier of entry are much higher, people who are choosing to grief
Oh,
look for
okay.
other places that are more
Okay.
convenient to grief.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like
the big gathering of
Big-
shit posters. Something like that, I guess.
also as I was trying to ask you.
Go ahead.
So before I was going to say
But,
like
okay, but you're saying these people.
my,
what is the
my question is
difference?
like kind of half answered.
It's like degrees
because
of
Discord wasn't the first
interaction.
thing. Like I'm sure like Skype was back then a thing.
You're,
but
you're
just,
saying
wow,
that I should
how much
judge these
voice back?
people
No,
more
no,
so
okay.
or less so?
Like
So,
Ooh, yes.
okay.
Like, what do you mean by like?
Like,
So
'cause
in a
you
video
know
game
how, like,
like
WoW has,
Gary's Mod RP,
yeah, and
WoW
you
has,
have
like,
your
in-game
role
chat.
play
avatar
servers
Yeah.
and stuff
speaks
like that, right?
on
So
your
like,
behalf,
Okay.
when they, I don't know if you delved
and
into
then
that
that's
much.
like
You
2
probably
degrees
did.
of freedom between.
I
you
probably
do.
did. I did actually.
Oh,
I actually
like,
been
I'm
on a
gonna
roleplay
judge
No,
that.
it's-
server. I've been on
it's an
roleplay.
environment.
I didn't actually play
But
it
then
as
on
a
the
roleplay.
forums,
I
it's
just
just
been on.
what
when you see
acting
characters
as someone
when players
through
role
text.
play,
Yeah, that's like 1 degree of freedom.
Why is that
Um,
1 degree of freedom?
do they like
Because you don't
use
have
the
an
chat
avatar
box
that
or-
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You play. You,
My
physically,
God,
you
damn,
virtually
dude,
play
The
as.
first thing
Yeah,
I
but
get
you
yelled
have-
at
you
is
still have
just
to
for
describe your
walking
entire
on
avatar.
the road, not on
Otherwise
the
people don't
sidewalk.
get the
do they
full
do they like
RP.
RP
like
experience.
chat?
Yes.
like message you or
That's
something?
still
Like you're supposed
the
to
same
go on the
degrees of
sidewalk.
freedom.
No,
Is it
no,
not?
they literally.
The idea that you can move
this is
around
my experience.
your-
I stepped onto the road.
Your virtual avatar.
Yeah, but I could just
Then
say like,
I heard
I went to
there's
go
a
to
yell.
the hotel.
in my chat
Oh,
box.
Oh,
And
Then
it's
it
the same
pointed
thing
towards me.
if you-
Then I
Because you
turned.
directed your-
Then a guy
you
literally
written your directives.
runs on the sidewalk up to me and told me to get off the road and go. Please
But wouldn't
stand,
that kind of
walk on the
reductionist
sidewalk,
logic
or else
kind
you're,
of saying like,
or else you
TV
have to
is the
pay a
same
certain
thing as
amount,
video
a
games?
certain amount of gold.
and then
I'm
you
sorry.
left.
We probably shouldn't
Yeah.
be splitting up the conversation like this. I don't understand why we're choosing to split up the conversation. Like
Sorry, my
this.
bad.
No, because
No,
this wasn't a conversation that I wanted to have, and I wanted my questions answered. So you guys do you, and I do me.
Okay, but I'm saying it's not pleasant for other people to be hearing 2 conversations
Yeah.
at once.
It isn't.
All right. Well,
So why don't we at least be considerate to the people who are watching, or at least to the audience, the pretend audience that we can RP that we have.
Baker stays baked. I don't know.
white shirt guy has a perfect point.
I'm a white shirt guy.
Are we talking
I'm an
about?
RP as white shirt guy. Okay.
Are we talking about specifically the point about degrees of freedom?
Oh, it says-
What about it?
I don't see how the degrees of freedom would change because you still get to write down the degrees of freedom.
Well, okay, the idea is that, again, Gary's Mod, you have an avatar that speaks on your behalf. Okay?
Yeah.
That you've created.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you get to control, like, you're in full control of this avatar.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then, on a forum,
Yeah.
it's just you, like, you don't control anything but your text. And that's it.
What?
How's that any different?
How is that any? Like, I can still shape the narrative with my text.
Yes.
Isn't
You can
that? Isn't that me?
No, you're bound, in the game, you're bound to the rules of, like, Gary's Mod and the RP server.
So then you would argue that, okay, but in that case, the analogous / the similarities would be that you were bound to the rules of the forum.
I mean, you're still allowed to do whatever you want. Like, you...
Same with the prison one.
No, like, you can say, I moved out of the prison in text, but you can't say like in the virtual world you're still stuck in the prison. You can't just like teleport out of the prison.
Yeah, but
Otherwise
those,
you get
but
shot.
then those are just the rules that you like. Those
No,
are
like
rules.
I'm saying
that
that there's 2 filters that you have to go through in Gary's mod.
So what's the argument? What's the argument
just
you
trying
guys
to
trying to
explain.
support?
I'm just trying to explain that
online forums seem to have less.
less filters between you and the interactive medium.
And what you're arguing?
That
What's
the
the
experience
counterpoint?
is kind of the same. It's just one tends to be more immersive because the rules are more tangible because the reality has been set. But you can get equally as immersive if you were to set the reality of your forum to have the same sort of rules and be extremely strict and ban people who choose to not follow the rules. Like, I don't see how you can't achieve the same sort of RP levels on a forum with, let's say, a virtual reality / video game. To me, it's just like, it comes down to the fact of whether or not you're strict enough on your rules and on the people who are RPing to get the same immersive experience.
Yeah, and abiding those rules.
No, well, in the video game, you're at the mercy of your virtual environment.
Yeah,
But
but
in
in the forums,
you're not. You can
you're
say
you're
whatever the hell you
not.
want.
Yeah, for sure. But you're at the mercy of the
the-
mods who enforce the rules, and based on whether or not they choose to enforce it
No,
as strict as they would like.
but you have that freedom to do whatever you want. No, you can't say the same about the video game. Like, you have walls that you're confined to.
Yeah, but then at the same time, then you could say, well, I could just become an admin of the server, and then I could choose to do whatever I would like. But then at that point, you would just get banned for not being immersive. Like, is that not like similar to the situation in where the person's like, I'm going to type whatever I would like, but I'm going to get banned for typing whatever if it's non-immersive.
No, I'm just saying that you don't even have that freedom in the video game. Like, you don't have the freedom to do whatever you want. Like, because you have to still play through this avatar as a filter.
but you're still playing as an avatar in the forum.
No, okay, so
Like-
this is my point: is that the game is the filter has already been put in place by the game, correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can still achieve that same sort of filter on a forum if they choose to enforce the filter.
Okay, but like,
The enforcement needs to come from
Yeah.
people from within, not the confines of which the medium you play.
but
I think that's the distinction you're trying to make.
no, I'm saying that you have no choice in the video game, but you do have.
He's saying you're out of the box in an open text world?
Yeah, and I'm saying that to remain immersive, that if people enforce the rules, then it should be you could still achieve same levels of RP.
Because
No, but you can. The character gets to decide whatever immersion is to them. Like, I'm a teleporting god. But you can't say the same thing about the video game because you have to play by their rules. Like, of course, there are rules that will get you banned, but then it doesn't mean that you have to follow them until you get banned. Like, you have the option to go out of your way to say, I'm going to break immersion. But you can't say the same.
you can still say the same in Gary's mod.
Okay, so in Gary's mod, I can
You could
transform my
type in-
character into a monster that doesn't exist.
Yes,
Okay.
you can,
And then get banned.
and then you get banned.
But I can't because like those packets don't exist.
You could people have hacked their way into just breaking
Okay.
those things, and people say, "Oh, let me just type in no clip. Oh, I'm now moving everywhere else."
Okay, so now I have to go out of my way.
People do that.
It's the argument of Edric's argument is basically saying
It's the
that
same thing.
is
No, you can achieve the same
the
immersion
same
levels
immersion levels.
if you were to enforce the same filters. It's just the confines of the game allows you to set more tangible filters that don't need to be enforced by the moderators.
Like gravity?
Yes,
Yes.
like gravity.
Okay,
It doesn't need gravity isn't necessarily a filter that needs to be enforced by the
So
moderators.
there's still two filters.
Yes,
There's
I'm
a moderator.
not arguing.
Wait, you were arguing.
No,
he
I'm
wasn't.
saying I was arguing you can achieve the
I
same
don't
levels
know.
of immersion.
The argument basis was
You could say you could achieve the same levels of immersion.
Okay.
the
what?
argument basis of you were trying to make distinction of the world of the forum and the world of the game are two separate things. An Edric's argument is you can achieve the same thing.
This is kind of what we do. We go on a tangent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
That's the argument. You're arguing that there's more filters.
Unless I misunderstood.
Okay. So now I have to find something that is inachievable in the virtual world that you can achieve in the text world.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go.
I don't think that matters because, like I said, as long as the moderators enforce a certain level of filters / immersiveness,
Okay.
then you can still achieve the same level of immersiveness in a text world that you would
Okay.
in a virtual world.
It's the only thing that's holding it is your own digression.
and the mods.
Yeah, who enforces the rules?
Thanks.
Aeropostale guy has a good point too.
That's right.
Yeah. I like how he labels us based on our shirts.
I mean, that's equally as valid.
That's equal.
I know. I'm just saying, like, this really didn't happen. Like, people would like label me as the guy with the shy guy with the long hair, like the short guy, the short hair guy with sunglasses or whatever. But like, I don't think we've ever been labeled as the guy with the shirts before. So I just find that interesting.
Okay. But
I find it pretty funny too.
I guess in the forums, the moderators have to do double duty then.
Yes, they do.
yes,
have
they
to
do. They do double duty,
and they have to be
There's
extremely strict.
Okay.
and there's more load, more.
Like
yeah,
I'm not
more-
arguing for the convenience of one thing over the other.
Okay.
Like,
So
definitely-
so is the moderator the filter then? Like,
yes.
Yes.
Okay. So is there two filters then? So
Yeah.
there's in the virtual world, there's the virtual, straight up the virtual world, and the moderators. That's
Yes.
two filters.
Yes.
There's two filters.
That's
I'm
two
not
filters.
arguing against that.
In
The text
in
one.
text world, there's just the moderator.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's one filter.
Yes.
So how's it the same thing? Like,
You-
I don't understand.
The
It's
text one you have to be.
Edric's trying to convey
Yeah.
that Edric's
The
trying
moderator can do double duty.
Edric's trying to convey that these two mediums
Okay.
can achieve the same amount of realism.
It's not about the realism. I'm saying, like, the original argument was that there are degrees of freedom
Yeah,
between the two.
Dude, I never
Yeah,
argued against that.
And Edric's is saying that you can achieve that same amount of realism, as in those degree of freedom, in both areas.
Can you like? Is it the way you said it? It made it sound like.
Also, did you know
Sriracha's-
Sriracha? It's actually
Oh,
spelled.
shirt!
No, it's
I
actually
need that shirt.
Okay.
it's actually spelled SRI.
Sriracha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it is,
spelled
it
properly
is.
on your shirt.
See, I didn't. I thought you didn't make a typo. So I thought you just like wanted like.
I thought
the
it was
sauce.
spelled like that.
Sriracha. Everybody says it like that.
Sriracha.
Yeah,
I
but
know,
it's
but,
actually
yes.
spelled
Siri.
Sri.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah, but
No,
yeah.
but back on the topic.
Okay,
Yeah.
so my original argument was that there are degrees of freedom that are different between the virtual world and the forums.
And
then
Edric's
your
arguing-
counter argument to that was that the moderator does double duty.
Wrong. Edric's
What?
argument is that it's possible to achieve
Yes, because
those two
okay.
in both
Okay,
realms.
so now you're saying that
That's his argument.
you're not conflicting with this argument about degrees of freedom, but then you did. So I'm
When
getting
did I?
confused.
When did I?
No,
The
he's,
fact that you had a counter argument bringing up that the moderator just has to do double duty TLDR to achieve the same level of depth, but
yes,
that doesn't.
that's true.
I'm getting mixed signals.
What you're not understanding is Edric's argument is
Okay.
basically saying that
No,
you can achieve those
okay, look.
two worlds,
Okay.
but the moderator is
No.
going to work
Look.
probably
Can I
twice as
explain
more.
my own argument?
Go ahead.
Okay, so literally from the beginning,
Mhm.
Yeah.
I thought what you were arguing
Mhm.
was that you could not achieve the same experience from playing a video game that has two filters. One innately like limits you from doing something,
Mhm.
and the moderators having to do double duty. I thought that was the argument from the beginning, and I'm saying you could achieve the same experience. It's just on the forum side, all of that filters have to be strictly enforced by one authority, which is
No,
the moderator.
it's the idea that the person who's interacting with this world has to go through first
yeah.
the
first
virtual
the first
world,
virtual
having to control this virtual avatar to communicate with whoever's in this world.
Yeah.
And then they have to go through the rules of the road, basically.
Yeah.
So that's 2 degrees of freedom, for me at least. Like
Can we not say 2
Okay.
degrees
Dude,
of freedom?
don't-
Just
don't
say
say 2 degrees of freedom.
Just say 2 filters.
2 filters.
Yeah.
Okay, but in the forum, you have
Just the one filter,
just
which is
the
the
text
moderate.
of whatever you want to say through the text.
And then the filter is the moderator.
Not even just like whatever you want to say, like, and then the
Until you get
enforcer
banned.
is basically the moderator.
Yeah.
But I guess the enforcer in the virtual world is both the world that is virtual and the moderators.
Yes.
So there's 2 enforcers.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
Like, he enforces 2 things.
No, what Leo's trying to say that the virtual
wait,
world
wait,
has
virtual-
two
Yes.
enforcers.
Yes. I agree to that.
Okay.
The world has 2 enforcers.
Okay.
It has both the virtual world, which, lays the foundation of all of the laws that are allowed in that reality. And then on top of that, it has the people who are enforcing RP laws.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but in the forum world,
In
I'm
the,
saying
in
that
the forum world,
you
you
can
don't get that inherent first filter of
Yes.
the laws being written in the text.
yes, you can fall through the floor in
Yes.
the forum world for all I care.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like,
And I'm not disagreeing with
American
you there. I'm saying you can
idioms.
achieve the same experience if the moderators were strict enough.
With the sriracha and sriracha. Sriracha.
I think it's an American idiom of speech with this sriracha and sriracha.
Yeah, the sriracha. You can achieve the same level of immersion. An individual can
Yeah.
choose to immerse themselves to a certain degree
Carry on.
if they want to, so long as they choose to strictly enforce the filters.
It's by their own digression.
but the original argument was like you're against the fact that I said that there are 2 filters.
Well, then I misunderstood you.
He did misunderstood then.
Because you kept saying degrees of freedom, which
Yeah.
made
Basically
You're
the same-
you're exchanging the 2
okay.
terms, and Edric got mixed up by those
There
2
are 2
terms.
bridges between me and what I'm interacting with.
Okay, so when you said degrees of freedom,
Yeah.
I thought you were saying as in like ways of expressing yourself.
No.
That's what he. That's it.
it's like
So there was
degrees of
confusion.
association. Is like how many ties does it take for me to get from me to Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not
Ties.
degrees of freedom. You
Relational
have
ties.
you have to.
No,
you have
no,
to-
He's saying that's a different degree, like
Yeah.
a different type of.
Yeah. It's like, okay, my mom's friend knows Kevin Bacon.
No, but
so that's like 2
okay,
degrees
so
of freedom.
once again, you're saying degrees of freedom.
Degrees of freedom is probably the wrong.
It
like,
is.
Degrees of,
That's why I got
degrees of
confused.
relation. Or
Because no, but you're saying degrees of freedom, in this case, isn't strictly degrees of freedom because we're talking about how we're restricting people within a specific reality.
yes.
But degrees in freedom usually mean how many degrees in which one can express themselves.
That's not even what it's used for.
Pretty sure that's what it's used for.
It's
Can we
basically
look
the
at it?
science.
Can we look it up?
Or
Okay.
statistics.
Yeah, look it up. Look up the syntactic because that's what I think. Also,
That's why I
degrees of
thought what
freedom-
degrees of freedom
is the freedom of expressing yourself.
Pretty sure I use the wrong word, but I'm pretty sure it's from
Degrees.
statistics.
Of freedom. Also, Baker, you can. It's 2000, almost 2020, dude. You can buy that shirt like online.
Yeah,
wherever you want
online
to.
purchases should
Like-
probably
like
be
it- like
mainstream.
yeah, like
Yeah.
purchasing things is like very little problems now. Anyway, in statistics,
There you go.
how
Yeah, I
do you
use
determine
the
the
wrong-
degrees of freedom? What does,
Okay, may I take a look?
yeah, sure.
Okay, so in statistics, the number of degrees of freedom is the number of values in the final calculation of a statistic that are free to vary.
Isn't that just math? Is that
The
just
number of
statistics?
independent ways by which a dynamic system can move without violating any
Or that,
constraint
yeah.
imposed on it is called a number of degrees of freedom.
Okay.
Yes, it's usually used in science or statistics. Generally statistics. But yeah.
So
maybe-
there was a misunderstanding
Yeah.
then. I'm from
Jesus
Flint.
Christ.
Amazon doesn't Flint like Flint and steel.
No, Flint Lake is in the
Flint, Michigan.
I didn't even know that was a thing, to be honest.
There's multiple
Not good with
meanings.
immersion in
There's
countries
multiple
and cities.
meanings of degrees of
Naturally.
freedom because there's also meaning
Amazon
in psychology. There's also meaning in engineering, robotics,
Yes, science.
mechanics,
Science and statistics. Like I've said.
and literature.
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 Yeah.
Okay,
Also, I find that I'm pretty sure I believe you. I just also it's sort of hard for me to believe that.
Okay, so I'm
Amazon
trying to think.
has, like
No, that's fine.
limited deliveries and.
Why
like,
would it be hard to believe that?
I don't know. It's 2019.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like I'm not saying.
Flint, Michigan. Like how big is this city?
I'm not saying your town is a plague or anything.
Like,
or
no,
that
I
it's
just-
crime ridden. But I'm just saying, Amazon can sometimes put restrictions on areas if they feel like their employees are not safe. It's like
That's not a
why
thing.
would you?
Yeah, that is the thing.
No, not even just Amazon. I'm just saying like a delivery company
Company does
may
that.
choose to refuse.
Oh,
Well, I'm bullshitting. Yeah, but there is a possibility.
I didn't even know that was a thing. To be honest,
That a private company may choose to just flat out not deliver to a location.
I didn't know that was a thing.
They have the right to deny customers. Remember,
So does
I
Baker,
thought
do you have
customers was always
autism or do you have
right.
Asperger's?
I'm kidding. I know. I refuse to believe that's a thing.
Why does that matter?
I don't know, because if you had autism, then you would have trouble,
Trouble what?
I don't know, trouble putting together words. I thought,
No.
like,
No.
there's different types of autism, but
No.
like you should be kind of specific on what kind of autism you have.
Why does that matter?
Also, I have a question regarding your username.
I don't know.
Is
I'm
that-
trying to take this seriously, but I can't. But
Take who seriously?
this,
Avatar
Oh, yeah.
Baker stays
Yeah.
baked.
The user?
No, but like, okay, why would autism make you feel like you would take them less seriously?
Do
no,
I
it's not.
choose-
I just want to know: is it Asperger's or autism? So I
Do
can
I have to
kind of
Google?
prepare myself for what to expect.
Autism definition?
I wouldn't.
There's a spectrum. That's cool.
That's what I mean. Why would you say what kind of autism you have? Because it's on the spectrum.
It's
like
on the
everyone
spectrum.
has their own degree of
And
autism.
the only way you can prepare it is just you just treat them as a normal person,
Yeah, I feel like why would you feel? why
and
would
and
you
just
feel like-
change. You
I
know?
don't treat anyone online like a normal person. I'm sorry, because
Then that's fine.
normal person
Yeah.
acts like this online, like in real life.
That's fine still, but again,
So
like,
don't tell me to treat someone like a normal person online. Like it's just not happening.
yeah, but again, like, I don't know why you should be taking this serious.
What-
Also, I have a question regarding your username. Is that like a tongue-in-cheek jab at like stoners?
Or
Because it says
delivery
Baker
too,
stay
yeah.
baked. No, baked. That's one of the terms for like people who smoke marijuana and stuff like that. I was just curious. But it's also bakers, like people who make pastries.
Like, does your interaction change if they were female or male?
No,
So why would it change if they were autistic or not?
I didn't say anything. I just want to know what his username
No,
is.
I'm just
like
saying
a
in
joke.
general.
No, I just want specifics. Like you want specifics as much as I
Well,
want
we do have
specifics.
areas up in FedEx, Amazon.
Yeah, but
we won't
asking
deliver
for
to
the
them.
specific as autism for me is just a strange question. to
I'm
me.
low spectrum OC. What does a C stand for? Sorry.
Obsessive compulsive.
All right. I'll take your word for it because I have no idea.
That's the closest I can come up with. Like autism to me is you can't.
Oh. All right. Cool.
It's
Oh,
strange. It's strange to
That's
me
pretty
that
good.
Strange to you that what?
that identifying someone by the way they function mentally is how people identify them.
Well, if you identify yourself as having autism,
Sriracha, I got it.
Yeah. Howdy. Hey.
Hi, Luigi. 5545.
Continue.
yeah.
Continue.
Well, if you label yourself as having autism,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be within your best interest to tell like what kind of autism you have, so you don't like offend them or anything?
So you want to get to the specifics because
Yeah.
it's a spectrum.
Well, I mean,
Low spectrum OC.
Just hearing autism to me, I just give them the benefit of the doubt. Whatever they're saying is just not necessarily I should take personal, because they just view the things differently than I do, or they don't necessarily have the same social inhibitions. It's like why would you need to know specifically what kind of autism that they have? That's the thing that confused me.
Guess how many pets I have? 545.
Arbitrary number.
No, I just based it off his username.
Oh.
Yeah.
The idea
Arbitrary
that-
number still.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely.
Continue.
Chaos guy got it.
Nice.
What?
Yeah. Continue.
What did
Continue.
he say? I don't know what he said.
545.
No.
Okay.
Continue what you're saying, Leo.
So the idea that if someone comes into some kind of field of communication and they label themselves as being autistic, and if you don't want to offend someone that supposedly has autism, it's like you want to see or you want to know what you can't tread on, just out of decency.
What would be the things that I can't tread on if I knew someone had autism?
That's why I'm asking to be specific. So
Well,
I
he
don't.
said he has low spectrum OC.
Okay, now I know.
Okay, so what were the things that you would have to be careful now?
Like, how's your OCD problems? Like, I don't know.
You still don't know.
Impulsiveness.
Okay, now.
Like the specification doesn't really
Okay.
come into play then.
So now I ask him more questions. Like, oh, what does that entail? And I was like, I'm not trying to be offensive, but I would just like to know.
Nope, 3 dogs, 23 cats, and a big pool with 2 orcas on it.
Huh.
Do you live in marine land? Because
Probably
everyone
like
loves
fake
marine
orcas.
land.
They might be inflatable orcas.
Ooh.
Also, when you say big pool, how big are we talking here? Like, is it like Olympic pool, or is
Backyard
it,
pool or the kiddie pool?
or is it marine land pools? I've never been to marine
So
land.
should I just not take anyone says seriously ever?
No, I just feel like it's completely
Irrelevant.
disrespectful slash not irrelevant, but disrespectful slash inconsiderate to just flat out ask someone what's wrong with you.
Well,
Phrase.
the man said, I have
Marine.
autism.
Marine line. Maybe marine line.
So, is it rude to ask, is it autism or Asperger's? Because, well,
People don't understand the class of autism. It's easier to grasp the term.
Grasp term. To grasp term.
I don't know what OC stands for, but
Obsessive compulsive.
Obsessive compulsive.
is it OCD or
Obsessive compulsive.
Okay.
OCD's obsessive compulsive
disorder?
disorder.
I know.
So why do you need the D? Like why would sorry, that's not a link. Why do you need specifically?
Hey man, I ain't gonna judge. Anyway.
I don't know. Usually, when you say obsessive compulsive, it's usually followed by
Yeah, but
The D.
once again,
Yeah.
why is it that you
because it could be anything.
because-
Overclocked.
But once again, you're there's an implication that you've decided that there's some sort of ailment that this person has.
So you're saying that autism is not an ailment?
Yes.
Okay.
Personally speaking, I don't believe autism is an ailment.
Okay.
They function differently than human. They function not differently than
Hold
human.
on.
They function
Okay.
like differently
Hold on.
in terms of mental processes, as
Okay.
in they look at things and can abstract things differently, but they're humans.
You're still human.
That's why I
I'm not saying
get.
they're not humans.
Yeah, but you've implied that they have an ailment. Hence disorder. Hence they have issue. Like I don't like saying that people who have mental disorders have mental disorders. They don't. To me, they're just regular people, and they think differently.
Okay.
Just like regular people. People think differently.
Yeah. So I'm not willing to put a specific distinction on these people and say, hey, you're obsessive. Like, okay, obsessive compulsive would suggest that they cannot help but have to do a thing a particular way, hence obsessive compulsive.
So can I just say I'm autistic then? Can I just throw out that word?
I
Because
don't
it
think
doesn't
that's
matter.
how it works.
It's not that
What
it's
does fully functioning autistic mean? I don't
Do I have to
understand.
Google this?
so fully functioning,
Okay.
flat out, to me, is a bad term to say. To say high functioning is fine. No, there's not one complete
I mean,
human being.
semantics at this point.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, but it's important to me because
Why?
because
distinctions.
Okay.
yeah, no, not only distinctions, it's that you discriminate.
Okay.
Discriminate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if I'm willing to put people in specific disorders, then I'm discriminating them. I'm saying that they're inferior to a specific line of thinking. Because it's a disorder. Rather than orderly thinking. To assume that there is a disorder is to assume that there is a proper manner or an orderly way of doing things. And there's no such thing when it comes to mental thinking.
Okay. Whatever you say.
I'm a soldier in the U.S. Army
Stationed
stationed in California. He caps all the first word. I'm sorry, it's a little
Yeah.
bit.
Highly functioning. Highly functional
Let's put
autistic.
highlight.
What does that mean?
That means as in he doesn't necessarily break so many social conventions that he would be viewed as a social pariah.
Okay. Social pariah. So he doesn't. He's antisocial.
You don't know.
He's not
pariah.
antisocial.
Yeah,
As
he's
in,
not
like,
antisocial.
Like,
He
he's
he
like
views-
outcast or
Okay, so
something.
now learning more
or
about this
some-
person.
Like
I'm not
somebody
discriminating
that's
by any
hated.
means. I'm just
Cool.
genuinely curious. But then, of course, I'm being labeled as being what, discriminative. I don't understand. I guess by that logic, you're being discriminatory. Like,
I'm treating this guy like a regular.
no, you're treating me like I'm discriminating this person when I genuinely wanted to know what kind of autism, like, what kind of autism he had.
Maybe your tone is too negative or assertive or something.
It's
I don't
not
know.
that.
I'm
It's
not judging. I judge.
this whole idea that there's a specific autism to me is dumb.
Why?
Because people,
Why?
everyone thinks differently. So to pigeonhole specific people in a specific box of saying you have this specific autism makes no sense.
Even though there are time and time again patterns within like autism, or
They sure, like he said he was obsessive compulsive.
okay, so that's a pattern.
So being obsessive compulsive is different from thinking a specific
Use
way.
the washroom.
Go ahead.
You guys keep doing you.
Sorry,
Oh
what?
my god. Full bladder.
It's different from thinking a different way, even though he does.
Think differently.
Yeah, basically.
There are some people who can abstract things super ridiculously,
It doesn't
but
matter
who
what-
aren't obsessive compulsive.
Yes,
But those people can be autistic,
yeah, you're right.
but not obsessive compulsive.
You're right. That's why there's, like, in the medical terms, there are labels for different patterns of autism. Is there not? Like, isn't that why? Like, so
But you don't need autism to be obsessive compulsive.
What are you guys arguing about
I
now?
don't even know anymore.
Like,
I'm just asking this person genuinely, do you have autism or Asperger's? I'm like, I'm illiterate in terms of this, so I would like to know. Like, but then here comes Edric saying, oh, you're just being discriminatory. It's like, okay, fine. Even when he said high functioning, I don't know, like fully functioning autistic, I don't know what that means. And I was hoping that Baker State Baked would clarify what that means, because I just don't know.
The reason why it bothered me was because I don't like it when not you specifically, just
When-
in
okay.
general,
Okay.
when people
Yeah.
Okay.
are willing to reduce other people
Okay.
to specific ailments.
Okay. Even though he identifies himself. Okay, he doesn't. Okay, that's good to know.
But continue on.
Okay.
As you don't like reducing people as specific
Okay.
ailments.
Yes.
And Leo, what you were saying?
Okay. So when someone
that's cool.
comes into a chat room and labels themselves as being autistic, is that my fault for like trying to start a conversation with them if he labels himself as something?
I would say so.
Interesting. Okay. Like that's all I know about him, but
Like if someone has cancer,
okay.
Wait.
I'm not gonna go flat out of my way and be like,
What kind of cancer do you have?
yo, what kind of cancer do you have? How long do you have left to live?
I'm not gonna say how long do you have left to live, but like what kind of cancer do you have? I think that would be a respectful question.
I don't think.
You don't think that's a respectful question?
No, it's
Why?
not. Because like that's not something you should be dwelling on. I'm not gonna reduce you to the fact that you have a specific type of cancer, and now I'm gonna forever remember you as the guy who, hey, you're that cancer guy with that one particular way of cancer. I'm gonna remember you as the guy who was cheerful in the chat room, who had a particular story to tell, like not specifically the ailment that you labeled yourself as.
And so that's
That's what I find disrespectful.
So that's why the question that Leo asked to that guy felt disrespectful, because you feel like that Leo is labeling that is remembering that guy as a guy who had autism.
Yes.
That's how you feel about it.
Yes.
Or even though Leo was just trying to further understand the guy, you mistook that.
No.
That's what you.
No, he literally said the reason why I'm asking whether or not he has autism or Asperger's is so that I can have specific expectations. I can know what to expect.
I label myself so if I say something off the wall in conversation, this doesn't happen. Interesting.
No, okay, so this is more so an argument about the way we view people. This is not so much about you.
Yeah.
Just in
or
general.
you offending other people. And that's another thing is, on the internet, I just understand that people are going to say outlandish things regardless whether or not they are thinking of a particular way or anything. Like, people are just crazy on the internet.
Okay.
So, Luis, you guys feels very familiar.
But,
It's what Leo said.
is that you've already inserted a presumption.
That's because that's all I know about it.
Okay.
Like,
So why not, if that's the case, why not ask about
I
different
gotta
things?
go. We're going to an operation, so bye. Best of fun, friend. Also, keep an eye on your orcas. Let's go. This guy's an army guy who works in Marine Land. That's cool.
But,
No offense, you guys are good.
Thanks.
No problem. Well, we're
This is
just
kinda what we
arguing
do.
about
Semantics.
not semantics, but actual like. I'm just trying to figure out what Edric's trying to come off of, and what's Leo's.
it's like, if you wanted to know more about the guy, why is it that you went down the line of, I want to know more of what's ailing you?
Well, like I said, this gentleman came into this chat room, and then one of the first things he says is, I'm autistic. So I was like, okay, he gave me a topic, so I'm going to do something about it.
Something I can work with, kind of thing.
I have nothing wrong with that, but
No, I mean, it's the same. It's along the lines of cancer. Like, I'm not going to flat out ask a patient, hey, what type of cancer do you have? Because that, to me, that's not how I'm going to define you. What I'm going to define you as is by your other, like, whatever else you're going to say.
I mean, people literally define themselves on the internet as being something. I'm productive. I'm passionate. But, so those people are equal then? Like, I don't understand.
I think what Edric's trying to imply that you can also extrapolate more labels other than that one single label. You can ask them more other than that.
It's like, why should you be reducing someone to just that? Like, you should
Maybe you should give me more information about
No,
yourself.
you should take it upon yourself to think about people more complexly.
Okay.
There's absolutely no reason
Okay.
why you as a person should be thinking about people as...
Of course, I take everyone on the internet seriously because I should take everyone on the internet seriously.
But this is not even about the internet.
Serious,
This
this
is
is
about even just in real life. If someone came up to me and told me that they were a cancer patient, I'd be like, oh, that sucks. Like, okay, that's great. Like, fuck. Like, that's awful. But I mean, like, I'm not going to dwell on that and just remain talking about that constantly. I'm going to be talking about other things.
Okay, so I have limited methods of conversation with this person other than, like, I'll throw out words into the air and hopefully he receives it. It's not actually a conversation with a real human being here.
Like, I think what me and Leo have a hard time grasping is like how can you connect an individual's how can you connect with another individual if you don't know anything about them? Yes, they gave us an individual label themselves as something like this, but if you wanted to know more about that individual, how do you go about it?
Question. So this gentleman's name is Baker State Bake. So is it offensive for me to ask him, do you use weed?
He does.
Like no, like if
Yeah,
if I didn't know that,
Yeah, I know.
like is that offensive to you or? Because I thought it would be interesting how he chooses in person or like his avatar name. So that kind of dives into what he believes in and whatnot, like how he, not like, I don't want to say how he thinks, but like what inspired him to make this name.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, so I think it would be respectful questions like, oh, do you use marijuana? Is that offensive to you? I'm curious.
Well, because on that you've already so you've literally gone down the branch of what would inspire him to do this particular name. So
Okay.
you've already expanded past the whole idea of what's ailing him. Like,
No, I would ask him, like, do you use marijuana?
I know a slight ailment, a slight mental ailment. I can't help what to say, or sometimes it just happens. I have tweaks. Can't. Well,
Okay, that's cool.
That's-
Like,
Yeah, that's fine.
Physical tweaks.
yeah, it's like there's sometimes
Yeah, like people with Tourette's
or
sometimes
muscle.
can have uncontrollable, involuntary
also
movements also, and marijuana
Yeah.
has properties to help
Yeah.
relax individuals.
I know. It helps with like Parkinson's apparently too.
Mm-hmm. But like
That's cool.
I understand where Leo's coming from. And
Okay, no.
Michigan.
So asking about his username is, I think, something completely different, because you've already gone down the branch of, well, there's an entire narrative / storyline concerning his name, and now I can extrapolate different traits of his personality from that.
So
This is basically all information.
yeah, but so what ticked you off basically was that. What ticked you off was basically we were delving into sensitive sensitive things.
The thing that ticked me off was there's a subtle implication that you've
I devalue people with autism or something.
No.
that you've labeled him with a disorder.
I mean, medically it is a disorder. I don't know how else to explain to you, but it is medically a disorder. Like, I don't know if you want to take the word disorder into all negative connotations, or like it's just the label.
It's one that isn't accurate, because there are plenty high functioning autistic people who, can abstract and who think smarter than I do, and
That's a
to
cool
label them
aspect.
as mentally disordered, despite them excelling in areas that obviously are more successful and are viewed as like more marketable and have more value in society, we're going to call them mental disordered. Even though the ordered brain can't come up to the same level of abstraction as these people, for some reason they're less orderly than regular people.
Can we Google what disorder is? Because at this point, I think it's just a word saying label. Because how
You want
much
to
is
Google
thrown
disorder?
around. Yeah.
Disorder definition.
Man.
Google search thing. It's gonna go off the
Disorder.
charts.
Okay, so a noun, a state of confusion.
Okay.
A verb, a disrupt the symptomatic functioning or neat arrangement of.
Oh, okay.
Also, I noticed that we had a lot more.
Here,
chat
the
interaction.
medical definition of it: a disruption of normal physical or mental function, a disease or abnormal conditions.
Okay. I guess you can take abnormal as a negative connotation if you want. Like,
Well,
I just say it's different, but like,
This is disorder. Like,
yeah, I can see why someone would take it as a negative connotation, because usually it's
and society generally does take it as a negative connotation.
you didn't say retard is. It's not really offensive. I have a mental disorder. Doctor says all the time.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I dislike the way doctors go about it too. Like, it's just I dislike the way society as a whole goes about it. Because I feel like, in all honesty, to say that society is normal to me is just completely weird.
I mean, there's average. Kind
Oh,
of.
average is
yes.
not normal.
Average, but average not normal.
Hold on, mixer.
I'm fine if we were to say society's average or whatever. That's fine. But to say that society is normal and that this is the way we should be doing things is completely, like, off-putting to me. Like, I don't understand. It's the way we're currently doing things is not necessarily the most efficient. There's nothing objectively saying that what we're doing is the best way of doing things. So don't call it normal.
Okay. So that
To suggest that an autistic mind is somehow abnormal and that it's disordered and disarrayed and that it's, like, in some people's mind, a broken way of thinking is like, it's what?
I mean, abnormal just means not normal, right?
Yeah.
And then generally humans have 22 chromosomes.
23.
23. Or yeah.
yeah, you're getting down to the specifics of
Yeah.
it.
So
But-
I think it's getting down to specifics. It's just labeling different things. Like, humans naturally want to label things. So I don't
Yeah.
have a problem with.
They naturally want to label things because it makes it easier for themselves, and I'm saying we shouldn't make it easier for ourselves because we're better than that.
You didn't say retarded. It's not really offensive. I have a mental disorder. Doctor says it all the time. Like, it's interesting that he does not take offense to this, but you do.
Well, yeah, because it's, I don't know why. What he explained it perfect. he explained himself. It's just the whole entire societal system.
It's the perception on mental wellness.
So you're basically being angry for someone else.
No, I'm being angry at the whole perception of mental wellness and how we sometimes view things as this is mentally healthy, while other ways of thinking are not mentally healthy.
So
because normal in society's views is healthy.
So should he be angry that? Are you suggesting that he should be angry at the doctors who label it as a mental disorder? Or I mean, I think this is kind of virtue signaling at this point, but.
What do you mean? Oh, can you repeat that?
Like
Virtue signaling?
Virtue signaling.
The idea that someone is saying that I have moral high ground compared to you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like we should do ourselves a service and think about other people more complexly. I think it does. I think it benefits society as a whole rather than take away.
Okay.
Huh.
If you want to say that's virtue signaling, go ahead. But I mean, like, personally speaking, it's like we do ourselves a disservice trying to pigeonhole people into these labels.
Okay.
Because people are more complex than that.
I don't want to reduce someone to just their ailment.
I mean, this completely disregarding the fact that.
No, I'm saying like even cancer patients. Like, I don't want to reduce someone to just being a cancer patient. Like,
you have to think up to the mid 1800s. We were still killing people with the issues, and we're still becoming normalized to
mental awareness. Yeah, people were giving, like, no offense to you, people with symptoms of obsessive compulsive lobotomies.
Okay.
And they were flat out having disconnections of their frontal lobes, and they were no longer themselves. Like, that was not even 100 years ago, or 200 years ago.
Yeah, things definitely have changed now, and it's based on like severity of symptoms.
Yeah.
If anything.
No, I don't think it's the severity of symptoms. I think it's just the way we view mental health now.
I don't know. I just don't have a problem with like asking someone about something that does kind of defining them to the point that they would come into a chat room
and
labeling themselves as something.
Yeah, but Edric, in his case,
I'm saying like I'm going to make the extra effort to.
He's going to put the extra effort, and he's wondering
to go past that and learn more about the individual rather than just the one thing that society as a whole views as.
I'm not saying that he's less of a human being than I am.
No, he's not saying that, but he's willing to put more effort to learn that human.
To go past that point of, oh, okay, this is what generally how society perceives you, and that I'm now going to perceive you based on how society perceives you. I'm going to go past that and just choose my own perception and where I'm going to start.
Okay.
Hence, let's say in the case of the cancer patient, if he comes into the chat room or comes to me in real life and says, I have cancer, I'm like, oh, dude, that fucking sucks. It's like, can we relate on other things? Like, do you want to be negative Nancy and a Debbie Downer, and we're just going to talk about why you're sick, or are we going to talk about what's inspiring you, or like what in the last few, what are the things you've learned? Like, those are things that.
I mean, you're still labeling them because of their cancer. You're going off of what you have learned about them and that they have cancer, and therefore you're sparking a conversation based on their cancer.
Yes, but I'm not going to go into the specifics of asking, okay, so what type of cancer do you have?
How's that any different from asking them about using the information you've gathered?
How long do you have left to live?
I'm not going to ask them that. You're just putting words in my mouth at this point. But
no, but like specifically learning about their ailment isn't necessarily going to make me learn better about the individual.
I thought, like, if you had lung cancer, that would greatly affect how you live. So.
No, but personality-wise.
Yeah.
He wants to know their hobbies and stuff like that.
So what of a person having lung cancer is going to make you learn about the individual, like he said, personality-wise?
Personality-wise,
okay,
like
now I've gathered more information.
So you've determined that since he has lung cancer, he's more likely to be
a smoker?
No, excited about particular hobbies. Like swimming?
No, I'm not gonna say, hey, how's the swimming? Like, I know you have lung cancer, but how's the swimming? It's like,
no, but you've learned nothing about his personality knowing more about the ailment.
Okay.
This is exactly my point.
You haven't, like...
Yeah, I understand that. That's why I'm using questions to gather information.
But what Edric's arguing is...
I'm not gonna go down the path of learning more about his ailment if it doesn't lead me to learn more about his personality.
Okay. Like, I don't see why I can't kind of segue off of learning what he has and learning more about him or her based on the information I have.
Look at it this way: we shunned people who with polio.
And called them letters because they had clubfoot. Yeah, that's true.
But like, what I'm trying to grasp is that
It's just a question.
yeah, it's just, even though it's just a question, but Leo is just willing to question by question by question try to figure out a person. But Edric is explaining that you're doing inefficiently,
Okay.
and you can learn.
It's not about being inefficient. It's not about being min-maxing. It's about being respectful and understanding that this ailment isn't what I'm going to define them with, and I'm going to specifically look for other things that I'm going to define them with. Society generally looks at ailments as bad things. I'm not going to choose like that to define you.
Okay, question.
Okay.
So I had a recent meetup with my friend Nisha.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's a teacher.
Yeah.
So knowing that she's a teacher, I asked her, what grade do you teach? Is that wrong then? Like, because I'm kind of labeling her based on her profession. Like, I'm asking a question based on her profession. Is that wrong? I think that's within the same vein of this whole.
I don't.
No,
see
no,
how
no,
that's
it's
the
not.
same.
Because
No,
you're
it's
going
to which cancer?
you're going into profession, which is not what Edric's trying to explore. Is the out of norm society
if you
personality.
No, but if you were to go down the line of thinking of saying, oh, hey, you have a birthmark on your leg, what kind of birthmark it is, that's more so within the vein of, oh, I have cancer. This is the type of cancer that I have.
I don't see how that's offensive to ask what kind of birthmark it is.
Well, I'm saying it's pointless. What of the birthmark are you going to learn about their personality?
I don't know. I thought how they explain what kind of birthmark is, I can kind of divulge more information off of that about their personality, how they like to explain things, how they respond to things.
Okay, a birthmark is very innocuous, but talking about cancer, talking about autism has huge stigmas / perceptions that society has.
I mean,
so why is it that you choose to do stuff that has huge negative, like, societal repercussions?
It's going to be bad if you think it's bad.
He's saying, look at everyone as a person, no matter what, who
were the
Yes,
they
that's exactly my point.
Okay.
Baker stays baked like has exactly right. Like it's not so much that I'm going to look for a particular quality that this person has. I'm going to look at like multiple qualities.
the spectrum of qualities they have.
And it just seems to me to dwell on negative, stigmatized qualities is not going to do anyone a service.
I mean, I'm not stigmatizing anything here. I don't know if you're putting words in my mouth, but
I'm not saying you particularly. I'm saying like as a whole
no,
society.
this was basically directed at me.
Yeah,
You're
it
getting
is
angry.
technically.
Yeah.
Technically,
No,
it
no.
is.
I have an issue with not just him, with most
Yeah,
people.
so
who-
it is still with me
Yeah,
right now.
but I'm saying most people who approach this line of thinking, I take issue with.
Okay.
Because I have plenty of friends who are willing to do the same, who are completely insensitive and inconsiderate, and who are going to say, what kind of autism do you have? What kind of mental disorder do you have? It's like, to me, it's like, what? What kind of cancer do you have? Like, Patrick does that all the fucking time, and I hate it.
Maybe if you worded it not like a douchebag, like
phrasing.
Can you tell me more about your cancer? It's like, oh, I'm kind of like I'm kind of a
Even then, you're still sounding off as a douche because
I'm labeling like this is.
No, it's inconsiderate of you.
What did I walk
to-
into?
Semantics, friend. Welcome.
Well, not semantics, but rather Edric's
or
feelings.
tangent.
Edric's feelings about
Tangents.
Edric's feelings about
Labeling
mental
people, yeah.
labeling and
Yeah.
mental disorder, and
Jay.
how should we
Right.
approach people?
Yeah. I'm saying we should approach people like regular people and not by their distinct qualities that you view from like a distance.
I don't know. I just thought that when I asked the question, "What kind of cancer do you have?" the response that they give me would give me a lot of information of what they are.
And I'm not denying you that. I'm just saying it's a moot point because you could be asking that question and extrapolating way more information if you were to ask
So it's
a different
min-maxing
question.
again.
What?
Yeah, min-maxing again.
Like I said, there isn't a more efficient way.
Okay, there is. Okay, it's both min-maxing and the fact that
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I want to be respectful. Like I don't.
This is
Soul is broken.
oh Souls, what's up, bro?
Soul is broken.
Oh, nice. But I don't want
Which
to
one of
be.
you-
I don't want to be disrespectful. Like I want to be more considerate about the situation.
I
Yeah.
just-
Leo,
I keep going back to the fact that he didn't take any offense to it, but you did. So
Well,
I'm trying to-
how is this not virtue signaling? Is what you're trying to say.
no, I'm trying to say that
Change my name.
We're
because
gonna
Twitch wanted
keep-
me to for some reason.
putting a negative stigma on it. If people keep putting a negative stigma on it, like even
No.
those
Okay.
with
You're.
said stigma.
What's the
They don't-
issue here?
Yeah.
So to put it very simply, there's a user on Mixer that you can't see called Baker Stays Baked, and he came out and said that he has autism, and my brother Elfo was trying to ask what kind of autism he has.
Do you have autism or Asperger's?
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And then Edric over here was upset about him going into specifics and not like asking other questions that.
Yeah, the
like,
line of questioning.
yeah,
the
there you go.
line of questioning didn't went well with him.
Yeah.
It kind of sucks that like these two users can't like
Interact with
communicate
each other.
interact because they're on a
the
different
problem.
platform.
That's the
Or
problem
like
with
Mixer.
multi.
That's the screen there.
That and there's a
Yeah.
problem with multi-streaming. But
yeah. That's just the nature of it currently.
continue.
What was the original statement? I had.
You had
Oh, the fact that these are going to remain negative perceptions
As long as
people
Yeah.
choose to beat around the bush,
Mhm.
like I am in this case. I'm not Okay, so the reason why I'm choosing to beat around the bush in this case is because I'm not willing to dictate the pace I'm not willing to dictate the pace of a topic that I'm not necessarily certain of the comfortability that the opposite party has. Me personally, I am comfortable speaking about any sort of topic. I don't necessarily know the comfortability of the entire audience, the room, and the other opposing party member who's partaking in the conversation. I don't know how comfortable they are. So I'm going to be considerate and let them dictate the pace of which they choose to release information.
So-
Hence why I'm not going to go out of my way to extrapolate more. If they're willing to divulge more about their current situation, then I'm all for it because they're dictating the pace at which it's coming out.
Okay, so what if I ask like this? They tell me they have cancer, and I respond, "Oh, sorry, I'm not too versed on like all the different kind of cancers. Like, can you kind of explain what kind of cancer you have been diagnosed with?"
Even then, even if it's posed as in like a learning opportunity, it's still somewhat disrespectful because you are not considering the bounds of how comfortable they are divulging
I
information.
mean, there's no way I know how exactly comfortable they are until I prod. Like,
you never
Check
know.
the nonverbals, dude.
That's kind of,
That's true. And you're saying?
but that's the point. You're supposed to wait until they reveal enough of the conversation so that you get a gauge
So
of how
it is-
comfortable they are
it's-
with the topic.
It's up to their digression then.
Wait, shit, that's
Wait, sure, I was trying to figure out why I said, so I understood. Yes, but what Edric's implying is that he wants the other individual, in case you, to
Like-
be, you're the one in digression to willing to give that information.
No, okay, so in this case,
Yeah.
Leo came off as not looking disrespectful by the opposite party because Baker Stays Baked was comfortable with the topic.
Yes.
okay,
But there's been plenty of situations where I've been in with other friends,
Mhm.
and my friends have posed the same line of questioning and have completely come off as complete other douchebags.
It's a bit inconsiderate asking about what type of cancer a person has. Normally, if someone were to tell me they have eye,
I don't ask a question. That's
they
just
have eye
me
cancer.
okay.
It's
Like-
yeah.
I'm not saying that Baker's Stay Baked found you offensive.
You found me offensive.
No.
No, you
Yeah,
straight up found me offensive.
Yes,
Yeah.
that I did.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that
There's a possibility.
there's ways of going about this
Okay,
where you don't seem so overbearing.
okay. So you just tiptoe around the situation until you get to the problem.
No, that's not the issue. The issue is I let the other person dictate how much information
so you just
they
pull
would like.
strings until you get to it. I see.
No,
It's called being manipulative.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can be manipulative for good things. You can be manipulative for bad things. I do this all the fucking time.
I don't think manipulative has a really good connotation.
Let me real quickly Google what that. Just so
But
everybody
Edric is manipulative.
Okay.
What is or isn't?
No, is.
Yeah, I'm very manipulative.
He does it all the
So-
time.
Okay. So you're saying I should be more manipulative instead of going
Yes.
blunt. Okay.
If there's particular information that you want to figure out, like, okay, no offense to you bakers that stay baked. Like, we're not trying to. We don't have.
You're not
ulterior
a test subject.
Yeah, we're not. There's no ulterior motives here. There's
Yeah.
There's nothing to be gained by getting information and trying to outsmart the opponent by being manipulative. But I mean, this is one of the principles that I have: is that you should be subtly influencing a conversation in such a way that the other person does, like Inception, that the other person doesn't necessarily know that they're gonna want to divulge more information than they want to.
So
You have to make it so that they want to
Yes.
divulge, not you. It's just convenient that they are divulging. It's convenient that what they're divulging is the same thing that you want to divulge.
No offense, not at all. It's just some people aren't comfortable as I am with my issue. Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
And that's what I'm trying to say. I've been in situations where many of my friends have gone down the same line of questioning, look like complete utter douchebags, but if I handle and treat it with care, and nurture the conversation. If you want to view it like that, then sure. If you want to nurture the conversation in a different way and you want to pull out specific information, then yeah.
the adjective definition of manipulative is characterized by unscrupulous control of a situation or person.
That's generally what I do.
Yeah, that's generally what he does.
Google this.
And on that note, I think this is a good time to actually.
Yeah, because I gotta go to work in like about an hour, so it takes me an hour to get ready.
Yeah, I think this is a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, the next podcast will probably be on Monday or Saturday. I'll get more information on
next Monday or next. Yeah, there you go.
I gotta set up a bot on Mixer so that you guys can access Discord if you guys want to join Discord. But if you're on Twitch, if you type in Discord, you can have access.
Bakers can't see that.
Yeah, you can have access to.
Yeah,
Put it in the chat.
copy paste it.
Yeah.
Don't
Copy.
really.
You are organized bot.
Yeah, you can have access to.
Oh, whoa! That copied the thing for YouTube. Oh, okay, makes sense.
Anyways,
I'm dumb.
yeah, you have access to the Discord and join the podcast and figure out when's the next time the podcast will come up and the topics that we talk about in those podcasts.
I like how you instead of just copying the link, you just copy like the entire thing.
Yeah,
Is that mid-maxing?
Yeah, it's just faster. But yeah, hopefully next week.
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed the conversations today.
Yeah.
Also
Thanks for dropping by.
Also, before we go, I
learned a lot.
got a very quick question.
Go ahead, shoot.
So Mixer is pretty new. Apparently, he's like 3 years old or something.
Okay.
Are we gonna be like the pioneers here? No, because Ninja
Good
exists.
question.
Good
For
yeah,
podcasts.
great. On that note,
No, like for podcasts, you know. 'Cause-
No, there's plenty of people doing podcasts. I don't. Why? What would make you come to the conclusion that we're going to be pioneers?
Well, like not pioneers, but like, because I noticed that there was a lot more interaction in like Mixer compared to like Twitch.
Maybe it's
like
just
the time of day and stuff. I know there's different
not
variables.
necessarily time of day. Maybe it was just bakers stayed baked. It might have been just the individual.
Sure.
Who
Yeah.
knows? Maybe there's other people on Mixer.
Like
who just-
I understand that there are variables, but like still, like
But then, if there are variables, then why did you come? Okay,
I
sorry.
don't know.
Anyways,
Sorry.
you're getting into semantics.
No, I'm getting angry for the wrong reason.
Yeah, you are getting angry for all reasons, and John is actually poking the fire for it.
I wanted to ask a genuine question. All right.
And on that
Don't
note,
hate.
we're done.
All right, peace.